Good morning, everybody. It's 7 a.m. on Tuesday, September 14th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see rain, a lot of rain, with a high of 79. Coming up today on Off the Bench, presented by All-Star Toyota, LSU head football coach Ed Orgeron stops by at 7:30. Mike Golic Jr. of ESPN Radio joins the show at 8:30, and Nick Underhill stops by in the third hour to talk Saints. We also have our OTB mailbag today, so get your questions in. Tweet them, ask them in the YouTube chat using the hashtag OTBmailbag, and we'll get them answered at 8:15. You can follow today's show on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN, or by subscribing to our YouTube for new content every day. You can also check us out on Cox Sports Television. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go. All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert. Yeah! Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome in, OTB, another day of Off the Bench here on 104.5 ESPN, YouTube, like wherever you're watching, you already know. T-Bob Hebert, Jacob Hester, Mario Jerez, and Danny Cardenas hanging out with you today. I got a lot to get to today, whether it's kind of putting a bow on week one of full football, week two of college, obviously week one of the NFL, an absolutely insane Monday Night Football game last night. Looking forward to some other sports that are kicking up. We got a little LSU soccer in the air. LSU golf is back as well. We got our OTB mailbag coming up in hour number 2 if you want to get your mailbag questions on. And, as you heard, we got Mike Golic Jr. coming on to go along with our regular Coach O and Nick Underhill Tuesday. Of course, I am essentially the great value brand Golic, right? Generally affable linemen with NFL fathers who went on to become radio stars. I mean, the fathers went on to become radio stars. And you follow in their footsteps, right? I'm just on a way lower level. My friend actually had a pretty good idea that we start a podcast called Coattails, which would be pretty great. But yeah, like I said, so I'm really excited to talk to Golic as well. Jake, how you feeling this morning?
You have way more hair than Mike.
That's true. Okay, there you go. So I may be the great value Golic Jr., but he has the great value hair. Okay, it's working out. All right, let's no further ado. Let's go ahead and dive into our headlines.
OTB headlines are brought to you by Barbecue Guys. Barbecue Guys, for those who are born to grill. Visit bbqguys.com to learn more.
Turn on the music for Mario Zegge. It just feels a little inappropriate if they were going to start today, given that it's going to be kind of just there's no great way to handle this stuff in a public space, and I don't know. But I'm sure that many of you listening right now have heard about Kevin Faulk and what the Faulk family is going through right now. As yesterday, unexpectedly, Kevin Faulk's daughter passed away. She worked at LSU. She was a part of the LSU family. And LSU's asking for prayers for the Faulk family and to respect their privacy at this time. So we will do both. But obviously, strength and support and love to that entire family. I think most of us can empathize. This is quite literally everyone's single greatest fear in life a lot of times. And yeah, I don't know. It's really been just it's kind of turned everything upside down today. It's like a big perspective thing. It makes you kind of realize how little a lot of stuff we do and talk about here matters. But we do have a job to do. So we'll move. We'll try to turn the page from here. Like there's no easy way to turn the page. But obviously, like I said, love, strength, all the support in the world to the Faulk family. Anything, Jake? Before we
no, it's just it's just wild. You see somebody on Saturday, and then Monday changes so quickly. And Kevin is literally one of the best human beings I know, and great family, unbelievable family. I mean, nobody should go through anything like that, especially when it's unexpected like that. That young of age, there's, like you said, T, there's nothing you can say. I think every parent out there gets a pit in their stomach when they hear stories like this.
Yeah.
Just thinking about Kevin and his family, and just again can't fathom what they're going through right now in this time, and obviously, I mean, she's somebody that's close to the LSU program in her own right, working there, and just being over there yesterday and knowing how many people she impacted. It's just a situation that can't even imagine, can't begin to start to think to imagine.
Yeah, so I agree, and really, like I said, it makes doing this job so weird today because it's like what else really matters. So we're going to do now, take a couple seconds, take a deep breath, and we're just going to, unfortunately, there's no great way to segue. We're just going to kind of barrel on through. So take a second, Mar. You can go ahead and turn that music back up. All right. right. In LSU football news, it looks like the game with Mississippi State is going to kick off at 11 a.m. on ESPN next week. So a much anticipated game, one that looks very up in the air. Now, I'm not even entirely sure who'll be favored. Obviously, the Central Michigan game will go a long way toward deciding that as well. But it'll get done sooner rather than later, 11 a.m. on ESPN, the big one, next Saturday. Cannot wait for that. Going to be a ton of fun. I guess it means pregame starts at 6 a.m. for us. Yeah, 6 to 8. Ooh, I love a little early morning pregame, dude. A little sausage, steak, and cheese biscuit always goes down good. In other LSU football news, John Emery, it's been announced, is academically ineligible for the year. We'll talk about it more in detail coming up at 7:15. But as it stands now, John Emery not going to be available all season long. NFL SU, that's right, 47 Tigers on active NFL rosters on Sunday. That is the third most of any school in the country. It includes all 7 2021 draft picks. As Jamar Chase, Terrace Marshall, Drew Brocox, Trace McMath, Tyler Shelton, Jacoby Stevens all end up making teams. Torrey Carter makes it as an undrafted free agent. 26 of the 32 players or the 32 rosters have LSU players on them. Cleveland leads the way with 5 players: Odell, Delpit, Jarvis, Jacoby Phillips, Greedy Williams. Seattle, Cincy, and Tampa have 4. These teams are pretty good. While Houston, Green Bay, the Giants, the Jets, the Bears, and the Colts are the only franchises that don't have a player. What do they have in common? They were all horrible on Sunday, as that grouping goes 1 of 5, with the only win being the Houston Texans. I mean,
they played the Jaguars.
Correlation and causation and all that, but hey, I mean, draft LSU players if you don't want to suck, I guess is the answer. In New Orleans Saints news, the Saints reunite with Kenny Stills, former 5th-round draft pick. He spent 2 years in New Orleans. Didn't seem like the Cali attitude was really vibing with Breeze too well. They end up sending him to Miami. He played, I think, in like 10 games last year, had like 11 catches or something before being waived in November. But he is now back on the practice squad.
A little surprised by this one. I mean, veteran guy, you bring him back on the practice squad just because he probably knows your concepts and your system still. I know it's been a long time since he's played, but he's been in this offense. He kind of knows some of the ins and outs of it, just to have him ready to go on the P squad in case something happens.
I get it's kind of ironic, right? Because on a day when you score 5 touchdowns, you're like, oh, we're good, right? But really, I mean, a lot of Sunday probably revealed to the Saints that they could still use help at receiver, especially with Traquan Smith on IR. I mean, you should always be trying to improve, right? And while Steele's on practice squad now, I don't find it too hard to believe that he could maybe, compete with a Hogan or a little Jordan Humphrey for that game day roster slot. So, yeah, just
hey, chill out. I'll let Hogan talk. He caught a touchdown.
He caught a touchdown. I know. So, I think Steele's probably could, too.
I guess
that's the point. Even though, I mean,
was he playing
their skill
professional
sets
lacrosse
would
last
be,
year?
Yeah, their skill sets would be a bit different as well. Bradley Roby was also officially added to the 53-man roster, so the corner that will play opposite of Marshawn Lattimore, the Saints got last week in that trade. His suspension is officially up, and he will be eligible to play this Sunday for the New Orleans Saints. In LSU soccer news, Molly Thompson was named SEC Offensive Player of the Week following the Homa hat trick. First ever collegiate hat trick against UL last Thursday. Already has 4 goals on the year now, one shy of a career high of 5. Again, remember, the ladies return to Baton Rouge this Friday in LSU Soccer Stadium. Are they giving out the scarves this Friday, Jake? Did you ever figure out? Is that official?
We'll make it official.
We'll figure it out.
Sure.
We'll figure it out. I don't. Yeah, we can't announce for the team, but that beautiful scarf that Jake has with the crest and everything else will be given out at one of these games. We'll get more details on that. But again, it's a great time to bring the kids to. Me and my daughter had so much fun going to the season opener. A nice win for LSU, and that's all they've done is win so far this season.
And they're still hungry for more. Having plenty of conversations with Coach Hudson. She wants more, expects more. So this team is not one that's just resting on the victories that they have so far this year.
And we will have Coach Hudson back here on OTV Thursday morning, either 7:45 or 8 a.m. So look forward to that. A little Monday Night Football excitement. What a game last night. It was wild, man. As the Raiders, I mean, both teams looked like they had it won multiple times. Both teams looked like they lost it multiple times. But in the end, it's a walk-off touchdown from Derek Carr that sends the Raiders to a 33-27 OT victory. Carl Nassib forcing the sack, forced fumble to set it all up. What a first game for those fans in that new Raider Stadium.
I told y'all these are not my favorite teams, but I did tune in because I wanted to watch the Manning brothers broadcast, and I'm glad I did tune in. I'm glad I didn't turn it off because it was the Raiders-Ravens. It ended up being, like you mentioned, T, a fantastic football game. I thought the Ravens won it at least 7 different times.
Yeah.
And the Raiders, credit to them, they find a way to come back, get the victory there. The crowd looked electric in Las Vegas. There's no way the Godfather wasn't there somehow.
Yeah, he probably just, he's always, I don't know, he's always traveling, going around just like gambling all over the country. So, yeah, I absolutely believe that he was probably there. I had something in, the AFC West. How about him? Joining the NFC West. 4-0.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Not a good time for the Bolts, bro.
Hey,
that's all I'm saying.
Bolts went on the road and beat Washington.
I know, and that's impressive.
The Broncos beat the Giants.
I know, but it's a bad feeling when the year when your team finally looks like they're going to be good, everybody in the division looks potentially good.
It's not great, Bob.
You're probably better than the Broncos, though.
Probably. Ain't no probably.
Yeah, probably.
Better than the Raiders, too.
Yeah, maybe so.
Not the Chiefs.
Maybe so, not the Chiefs.
The Chiefs are Thanos.
And finally, in a couple of college football news pieces here, USC, the first major coaching position opened up as USC has fired Clay Helton. I mean, not a lot of surprise here. People already thought maybe it should happen last year, right? And anytime you're a 17.5-point favorite to a rival, and then what did they basically lose by 17? So you go from being a 17-point favorite, basically losing by 17. Like that's, that's kind of the straw that breaks the proverbial camel's back. And so now USC, one of the huge open jobs in the college football landscape. Who do you think gets it, Jake? Is Herb out in Jacksonville?
I mean, every name's going to be up for this job. And, of course, Urban Meyer's one that a lot of people are already throwing out there. And he's coached one game in Jacksonville. A lot of people seem to think that with the new NIL laws that this is going to be such a big advantage for the USC job and to be able to recruit to that. I don't think we've seen proof of that just yet because some of the biggest deals are in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Columbus, Ohio, college towns that care way more about college football than Los Angeles does. I mean, all of us, well, sorry, Mario, you weren't there, but the rest of us were out in Los Angeles. Did y'all see one thing that said USC, like billboard, banner,
like if that NIL
jersey,
if the belief in NIL kind of giving USC an advantage ever comes to fruition, Jake, it won't be because the town's just in love with college football. It's just because there's just so many millions upon millions of people that there's enough people that like college football, right? Like it's just that there's so much money kind of floating out there that like enough of it falls to college. But yeah, no, I'm with you.
I think it's the college towns. Yeah, I think it's the college towns, and then some of the tech companies up in the Pacific Northwest have spent some money. That's surprising. Didn't think that they would care as much, and so it's kind of been fascinating to see who's actually spent money in NIL deals, but certainly hasn't been some of the maybe bigger companies that we thought. A lot of people were like, oh, well, Apple's got all this this money, and they've got an Auburn CEO, and they're going to spend all this money.
Oh, yeah, Tim Cook's from Auburn. Wow.
No, Apple's not doing that.
It's so wild that Apple CEO's from Auburn still. And then finally, last little bit of college football news here. Haynes King, the starting quarterback for Texas A&M, is going to be out for quite a while, anywhere from 4 to 7 weeks, as that leg injury that he suffered at the beginning of the Colorado game, it ends up that it is indeed a fracture. So Calzada, who struggled mightily in Boulder, Calzada looks like he will be the guy going forward. Very interesting turn of fate for a Texas A&M team that's top 5 in the country, and this is supposed to be their year.
Yeah, he was throwing nothing but two-seam fastballs. He's got to really work on some of his touch throws. Everything was about 5 feet high in the air, right? There was no arch to it. Now, I always kind of give the quarterback that came into the game the benefit of the doubt that once he becomes the starter and he gets a full week of practice, let's see what he looks like in that contest. But A&M could be in some real trouble with this. Now, Haynes King in his own right wasn't proven by any means. He had thrown 3 interceptions against Kent State and hadn't played extremely well against Colorado, obviously, before he goes out early in that contest. So it's a real cause for concern if you're A&M. I mean, they got a great defense. They've got good running backs. Their offensive line is still figuring out the chemistry of having 4 new starters. And their schedule's not the toughest in the SEC, but that doesn't mean they don't have tough games. And that Arkansas game now in Jerry's world is looking a little bit different than it did last week before Arkansas played Texas.
Hell yeah, Sam Pittman, baby. All right, when we get back, let's talk a little bit about the John Emery situation as we set up Coach O coming up at 7:30. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button. Obviously, that really helps the channel and all that stuff. I know it's crazy, but it's super simple. Just go press the thumbs up, and we'll be back with more Off the Bench next.
If you were born to grill, you have to go to Barbecue Guys for all your grilling and outdoor living needs. With the largest selection of top grills and outdoor products and best-in-class customer service, Barbecue Guys has it all. Visit bdqguys.com. That's bdqguys.com. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to AccuTintBR.com today, AccuTintBR.com. You see the van flying around right there. You probably see the AccuTint vans going all throughout the city. And every time you see one, just know that is a van that is on their way to create another 5-star review and a satisfied customer. The reviews for AccuTint are wild. And it's with thousands, right? This isn't just like 5 reviews. No, there's a 4.9 Google review rating with thousands of ratings. And the reason why is because AccuTint offers a customer experience unlike anything that you've ever used before. So again, any AC, heating, or electrical need, don't trust us. Trust the internet. Go to AccuTintBR.com today.
No, you're right. The internet hates everything, but they don't hate AccuTint because of the job that they do. You can go to AccuTintBR.com. You can see the over 12,000 reviews that they have available to you, and it breaks it down by each tech, so you know exactly who's coming to your house and what he's done prior with other customers before he gets to your home. You can contact him as well, 225-529-3519.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million-mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. Need repair? Our service department is ready and available to help you today. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Join us for a Tuesday edition of Hunt and Hill. We'll give you our SEC power rankings, check in on Saints practice, and it's Shark Week for the Tigers. We'll talk about LSU and Central Michigan. Hunt and Hill, noon to 2 weekdays on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
What up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Coach O coming up here in about 8 minutes. If you want to go ahead and, hit the like button, share the post, or whatever. All right, let's talk about John Emery real quick because it seems like there's a ton of different stories going around about what happened or didn't happen. We are trying to get in touch with the legal representation, Don Jackson, that Emery has hired to help sort through this. Maybe he can shed some light on the situation as well. I do feel comfortable enough, though, in going public with maybe what didn't happen. And what didn't happen was it was not as simple as, oops, we accidentally enrolled in the wrong class, and so now I'm not eligible. Look, academic things can be very dense in terms of what you are required to pass, to which class I mean, but then also the volume of classes that you are required to pass. And normally, academic ineligibility is something as simple as not hitting those bars. And obviously, that is what happened here. But it was not a clerical error or anything like that ends up holding out John Emery for the year. It's just not hitting those benchmarks. And, you start to talk to people close to the family, and you look at Emery's fall, losing family members to COVID. I had a very tough fall. Shoulder stuff. It's just, I don't know. But y'all listen to me enough to know that I don't sit in, I'm not very a brimstone and fire, righteous anger, what the hell? Why can't this kid do it? Or why did this person do that? I mean, everybody's situations are their situations. And regardless of what the specifics are, like I said, those benchmarks that you needed to hit just weren't hit.
Yeah, and obviously I put it out there on Twitter that the took the wrong class narrative was wrong, because it was. And I got some interesting mentions coming back my way when I put that out there. And I'm not trying to break news, as y'all know. I mean, in fact, here, that's something that we talk about all the time, is not trying to break news. But I felt like the young man deserved for that to be out there. Had plenty of conversations with everyone around it. And that just wasn't true. And that didn't look good on anybody's part. So I wanted to put that out there. And like T said, that is not the case. That is not what happened. And so, hopefully we can, speak to his attorney at some point today or tomorrow and try to break down what the appeal process will be. Because I can tell you one thing. I had conversations with John. John did work extremely hard this summer. I can tell you that. He worked extremely hard in the classroom, outside the classroom, to try to be able to be on the field and be the best player that he could be. I know some things that maybe he hasn't done right in the past academically, but I can tell you he tried to get back on the field this summer. And if they do have another appeal, hopefully that waiver is going in his favor.
Yeah, so he hired attorney Don Jackson. It is the same attorney that Christian Fulton hired in his fight with the NCAA. Obviously, Fulton ended up winning that, right? Or I'm trying to remember how'd that play out, or did he end up serving the whole suspension?
No, he ended up being eligible for the Miami
right?
game.
Yeah. He ended up winning it. So maybe Jackson can do it once again. But, I mean, not much more to say on the Emery situation. It's obviously very disappointing for him personally, I'm sure. I've not talked to him. And I'm sure that now I can't speak that it's obviously very disappointing to the team outside looking in because, again, there is a lot of real estate to be claimed at running back. And it would seem like this is the perfect opportunity and the perfect year for that former 5-star to make it his own. And it has not come to pass for one reason or another. Anything else on Emery, Jake?
Like I said, hopefully, we're able to get his attorney on, and maybe we can talk through some of the other things. But again, what I put out there yesterday was really because I've known the situation and him trying to get on the field and just kind of wanted to squash that where it was. And again, I know a lot of people are upset, like, tell us the truth. We demand the truth. Well, the truth is coming out, and T-Bob just laid it out for you there. And so there's things that we'll try to find out how that waiver process is going to work and if he can get back on the field. Academic.
Whoa, what's going on in my brain? Academic.
I did not know where that was going to go.
No.
I was like, are we talking NIL here?
No, people definitely thought we were about to get into a read. No, academic stuff can be incredibly dense. There's so many little potential pitfalls that can get you, and sometimes you don't even realize it. LSU doesn't even offer summer intercession anymore, so if you're ever trying to make up hours, you can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
And I'll just never forget this. And this drove home to me just how kind of dense and overwhelming the academic things can be sometimes, and why the people that work in that academic center deserve all the credit in the world. I never forget, we had a guy, Derek Cowherd, who was our academic advisor, and this man was working so hard one exam season to make sure that everybody stayed eligible. He was working so nonstop that he was having a conversation with someone standing up, and he just passed out of nowhere. Just passed out, standing up, just out. And it's because he was just completely physically and mentally exhausted. Now, they pulled it off, and everybody stayed eligible, but, it is really tough, really dense, and when you're trying to manage 100-something different kids, a lot of things can crop up along the way. So, I also just want to point out that it's not, so easy. It's not just you just got to hit these simple benchmarks, and then you're good to go. No, it's a ton of information to try to manage for a team that is not, this is not like the shadow staff at LSU. There's not 7,000 analysts working on getting this done. It's not exactly where a lot of the investment has gone necessarily.
Yeah, I'm glad you did mention there hasn't been a summer intercession, I think, in 3 years at LSU. That's completely different than when you and I, like you said, we'd have teammates that would do the summer
a lot of guys would make up the final
right.
hours needed for it's a 3-week. You cram a 3-hour credit into what is it, a month or 3 weeks basically. And it's how a lot of people got eligible. That is now no longer offered at LSU. Michael Reagan says, I imagine T-Bob just breaks out an accent breed during family dinner. Dude, the kids got to know. Kids got to know your AC, heat, and electrical needs. All right, let's go to break. We got Coach O coming up next right here to talk about last week's game, this next week's game. Tragedy affecting LSU right now. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com, All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com for all your vehicle purchasing needs or vehicle rental needs, as renting from All-Star Toyota is cheaper than traditional rental companies. Remember, though, so if you're looking to get a new car, Jake, chances are you're trying to get rid of your old one, okay? Well, All-Star Toyota wants to buy, and you'll get a better price now than you ever will. The market is hidden right now, so go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
T-Bob's exactly right. God bless you, T-Bob. All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com is the place to go. He mentioned the rentals. He's exactly right. No matter what you need, they've got you covered. And it is a great time to trade in that old vehicle and get something brand new. And they have got you covered. Vans, midsize, full-size SUVs, trucks, sedans, multiple hybrids, whatever your needs are, whatever you're looking for, they've got you covered. And they've got them at great prices right now. You can go visit the website, allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com, or give them a call, 225-925-2525.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
At All Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This isn't just another day, it's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big V and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
Service Mastery Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Mastery Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Mastery Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
It's no secret, the best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials.
Coming up on a Tuesday edition of Early Line, Rafael Esparza of MyBookie.com joins the show from Las Vegas, and we take an early look at some lines from Week 3 in college football and Week 2 in the NFL. Early Line, 2 p.m., 104.5 ESPN.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB here on 104.5 ESPN. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button. We love talking to LSU head football coach Ed Orgeron every Tuesday here at this time. Coach, we are going to start with something that is just everybody's biggest fear, and there's no great way to deal with this in a public setting. In fact, I hate kind of having to address this in a public setting, but we have to. And so I ask you, how is everyone handling the current tragedy affecting the LSU family with the horrible news of Kevin Faulk's passing yesterday?
Obviously, it's very tough on everyone. Everyone's close to Kevin and his family. You're not going to find a better man or family than Kevin Faulk and his wife. or even though he's very close to his daughter, this is a tragic time for him and his family. We want to show him the respect. Say our thoughts and our prayers. We said a prayer with the team. A lot of guys were hurt. A lot of people in here were hurt yesterday, and we just feel awful for Kevin and his family.
Yeah, and obviously, I think everybody does. And I know it's completely thrown us off over here. There's no easy way to do this, Coach. So we'll just move on and start talking about some other things. Okay, maybe it's a positive news coming out of a very adverse situation. Y'all sent a giant LSU 18-wheeler full of supplies down the Bayou to LaRose cutoff. What did it mean to you to get to help out with the recovery effort back home, and then how are things going down in LaRose? I know that's an area that still needs a lot of help.
Sure. First of all, I'd like to thank the administration for doing it. They brought a big truck there of supplies. Me and Steve Emery were flying down on a helicopter, but the weather was too bad. We had to turn around. I really wanted to be there to see everybody. Everybody was very gracious. They were happy to see that big LSU truck pull up, and it gave them a sense of relief. But I want to thank everybody that donated the food and supplies. It was much needed down there.
Now, Coach, as far as the game goes on Saturday, let's start with the positives. What were, so you did film review, you have Tell the Truth Monday. What were the biggest positives revealed by the eye in the sky?
First of all, man, I'd like to thank the fans at the Tiger Walk. Outstanding day. Since we got from the Tiger Walk, I'd like to thank the student body. It was full. The fans that were in there. It was Saturday Night Tiger Stadium, so we were fired up about that. Positive thing is, number one, we won, obviously. The way that the defense has played, the pass rush that they put on, I thought the defense made improvement. Now we have to play against bigger and better opponents. We know that. I thought on offense we showed signs of a multitude of runs, especially outside runs, getting the ball. We played a lot of guys. We saw our two young running backs, which we've been bragging about. They'll be excellent football players. And then to play a Cade York in the special teams, making 2 school records. So there was a lot of positives coming out of the game. There's a lot of things that we can learn from.
Coach, you mentioned that defensive line getting after Cody, unfortunately, with the 8 sacks there. But when you look at what Andre Anthony was able to do, obviously Mason Smith. But I go back and I watch that tape, and Andre has 2.5 sacks. The first one's a double hand swipe, and he rushes with speed. And then the next one, he's spinning and beating a double team. And he's really turned himself into a complete player and been big so far this year for LSU's defensive front.
Yeah, Andre is a great leader for us. I'm glad he came back. Got to give a lot of credit to Andre Carter, our new defensive line coach. He's excellent. Remember this, now he had 80.5 sacks in the NFL.
Yep.
And he looks like he can still get 80. And he those guys with passion. You should have seen him before the game. He provides a lot of energy. So I give a lot of credit to Andre and a lot of credit to both Andres for the work that they put in.
Well, and Coach, now you're on the other side of it, so you can talk about it more, but what a weird night where, okay, so yeah, Andre Anthony gets a big sack, but then that's your son getting lit up on the other side. Like every time Cody drops back, it's just immediate pressure. And on one hand, it's like, okay, great, my team's playing great, but then it's my son getting the crap kicked out of him. So, like, what was that like, man?
Yeah, it was different. First couple of plays, it was different. But, Cody knew his competition. We were going to give him our best shot. He was going to give us our best shot. But at the end, I was glad I saw Chris. And, nobody likes to see their son getting pummeled out there. But I was proud of his toughness. Yep. That's the game we had to play well. We had to win. It was competition. But at the end, I was glad it was over.
Yeah, definitely some toughness displayed. Coach, how about the interior defensive line? Mason Smith, Jaquela Roy. It was nice to see Jacoby and Guillory make a play, but especially Roy and Smith in the middle look like that could be a tandem for years to come.
Yes, really happy to see that. Bob, all the years we've seen these great defensive lines. And finally we have some guys, I think, that are very talented and that can answer up to the call of being a great defensive lineman at LSU. And those two guys have the makings of doing it. Now they have some work to do to get better, but they show signs.
Coach, obviously something we talked about last week was the rushing attack for LSU, and you mentioned going to throw some different things in there. We did see some different things, got under center a couple times. Armani Goodwin was a lot of fun to see on that 21-yard run. Unfortunately, had to kind of limp off the field there. What's his status for this game? Because it was fun to see his speed get to the edge there and have that big run.
Yeah, he's questionable for this game. I don't think we'll have him. I'm not sure yet. Possibly I'll know more about Friday. But, man, what you saw in that first play is what we've been seeing all camp. The young man is elite. Hello?
Hey, sorry, Coach. We lost you for a second there. Okay, we're back. Coach, okay, so those are some of the positives from Saturday. In terms of the areas of improvement, what did you all really focus in on and what needs to be fixed?
Yeah. So, first of all, protection. We still had some problems with protection. We're still working on them. And then the pace of the offense. We got to pick things up too slow. We got to get some hurry up in. We got to have different speeds, different times of the game. And we're going to work on that this week. Number one for the offense. Number two is getting the ball down the field. You know, we got to take some shots. We got to find Keyshawn Butte. We got to protect the quarterback. We got to be able to throw the ball deep. That's LSU football.
Coach, what is the status of some of the missing O-linemen? It definitely felt like you were feeling the absence of the two starting tackles in Chase and Hines.
Yeah, you know, we're going to get Chase on back. He was practicing yesterday. We may get Austin back in practice today. I think he's going to play this week, but we've got to see this week. That's the only guys we're going to get back. We got a couple of other guys that Cam Wire is going to be out. I'm not sure the status of Anthony Bradford yet. I'll know more on Friday.
Coach, I know that Garrett Nussmeier was a guy who you said you wanted to get some seasoning, some reps coming into the game. He ends up getting in. It seems like what he did really tantalized a lot of LSU fans. What is the current view of the QB room and kind of how Nussmeier factors into it?
Yeah, I think Garrett did well, and he has been doing great all camp. He's a fire flow, man. He comes in there, he brings some energy, he can move around, extend plays with speed, has a very strong arm, very accurate, and he has no fear. I mean, the guy's going to run in there, and he fires up the team. So, Max is our starting quarterback, but again, I have no problem putting in Garrett.
Hey, Coach, what did you think about Max's play on Saturday? I know we talked last week, and you thought there's some things he improved on within the game. What would you like to see from him in this game against Central Michigan?
Yeah, I think I really think he improved. He still missed a couple of throws, still missed a couple of reads, still holding on the ball a little bit too long. But again, that's coaching. That's getting used to what we actually going to do, simplifying things. We need to still take things off his plate.
Coach, what about the one thing in watching film? The look to the sideline stuff. I mean, ideally, when you're doing that, it's to put yourself in the perfect position. But if you're still having MAs, or it's still not necessarily winning that kind of chess match, it feels like a net negative. How are you all evaluating how the look to the sideline strategy is working out offensively?
Yeah, we've got to change it. When we're taking too long, we're giving time for defenses to change, and we're changing the play, and they're changing the play. Not working. So obviously that has to be retooled, has to be rethought on how we're going to do things.
Coach, finally, it's in the news, and I know legally it's kind of a little murky as to what you could say or not, but John Emery unavailable. Can you expound on that at all at this time?
Yeah, John's unavailable, just like I said yesterday. As I know right now, he's unavailable for the year, and I want to make this correct. That's all I said.
What about what's the status of Trey Bradford after coming back to LSU?
We are not sure yet. We're hopeful to have him eligible for this week when he is practicing. We'll find out a little bit more towards the end of the week.
Hey, Coach, last one for me. Also, I don't want to forget about Corey Kiner. I know Marnie Goodwin had a couple of nice runs, but so did Corey Kiner. It was fun to see him kind of get in the end zone there late in the game with that outside zone that he ran. Can we expect to see a bunch of him against Central Michigan as well?
Sure. Yeah, for sure. You're going to see Ty Davis-Price, Josh Williams, Corey Kiner. You're going to see those guys ready to go.
And Coach, you mentioned the Tiger Walk last week. The student section was fantastic as well. You got any message for the fans for this Saturday night?
Yeah, come on out. Come on out. We need you. The electricity, the energy that you bring to our team is a big reason for all our players coming here. And come on out this Saturday. You'll see a better LSU football team. We got to take the next step and beat Central Michigan.
Coach O, every Tuesday on Off the Bench here at 7:30. Coach, thank you so much.
Hey, guys, go Tigers.
Yes, sir. Coach. All right, when we get back, we will close out our run. We still got OTB Mailbag coming up. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to DonaldSoGlassandBody.com, DonaldSoGlassandBody.com. If you have any car needs, like you get in an accident, you want to go to DG&B. The body shop's the best in the state, and I'll put that on anything. I love Donaldson Glass and Body. I've been going there for years, man. They extend the life of my vehicles for years and years. They've been doing it since 1977, and they started just, pretty simple, right? Just a little glass work here or there, and now they've got this huge operation. And it's because they don't prioritize profit. They prioritize customer satisfaction. They know happy customers, a repeat customer. So you get in an accident, police can't tell you who gets towed. Insurance company can't tell you where to go. You want to go to DG&B.
Yeah, check them out online, dgbauto.com for all your vehicle needs. That's all of your needs, right? It's something as simple as an oil change. They can do it across the street over there at Donaldsonville Glass and Body. Certainly, if you need a full windshield replacement, body work, paint work, you name it, they can do it, frame work, whatever it might be. Check them out online, DonaldsonvilleGlassandBody.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
I'm feeling good. I just thought you should know.
All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. Need repair? Our service department is ready and available to help you today. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person, connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guy. Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Larry Holder joins us to talk some Saints and LSU, starting to prep for the Central Michigan Chippewas. Join us 3 to 6 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's up, y'all? What's going on? Welcome back to OTB, closing on hour number 1. Something that jumped out to me from the O interview right there, Jake, is, okay, so last week we watched the film. And we asked, like, dude, what's the deal with only zone left and zone right? Where is the rest of the rushing playbook? He said on the show, you're right, we gotta have a more diverse rushing attack. We've identified the same thing. We're working on it right now. Well, what'd they come out and do? They had multiple horn bosses. They had a couple jet sweeps. They had I don't know if they ran a power, but the point is they ran about 6 or 7 like different plays that we had not seen. It felt like in like 2 years. So, which may not be wholly accurate, but that's what it felt like. So you saw them identify a problem, say we got to get it fixed, and then put it into practice. Now, the rushing game still left a lot to be desired, but it would have been even worse if you hadn't gone more diverse, right? Like your most successful plays was when you did start to get outside the tackle box a little bit. I'm going to be very interested to see, is the look at the sideline stuff dead this weekend, right? Because it's the same exact rhythm. We just asked, hey, look, coach, we watched the film. Looking at the sideline stuff is not working. Yeah. It's kind of slowing everything down. He said, yeah, we identified the same thing. We got to get it fixed. We're done. So, like, I would not be surprised if this week, in the same way that you saw a week-to-week change, I would not be surprised at all if there may be vestiges of it, but, like, I would expect to see a lot more tempo, a lot more getting in the line and going, and a lot less looking to the sideline and trying to get into the perfect spot only then to not get in the perfect spot.
Yeah, I'm glad Coach O mentioned that, because certainly in the UCLA game, what was happening was Max was trying to get into the perfect play. And we know how that can be, especially in an opener. And the problem was he would come up and the UCLA defense would show him something. Well, he'd check, and then he'd back up, and then they would check to something else, and he'd get up there and check. And then he's snapping the ball with 3 seconds left on the play clock. Sometimes it was 1 second left, and UCLA was kind of pinning their ears back when they were bringing those 5, 6, 7 guys, because they knew on the clap that it was going to be, the signal, and he had to snap the ball because there was 3 seconds left on the play clock, so they knew the snap count, and those are the type of things. And then you can't get in that rhythm that you're looking for. I kind of said it's clunky because that's kind of what it is when you are checking to the sideline to see what the play is. It had a clunky feel to it. It's better in week 2, but still wasn't as smooth as you want. Like, you want to be able offensively, when you're calling a play, to have this rhythm that everything sets up itself, and the next play is set up off the play before, and just you keep going with that rhythm, and you just continue to feel like over the last couple of weeks it's been individual plays with no rhyme or reason, like why you're calling him in that certain situation. And I think that's what Coach O is talking about. Like, you want to get in that rhythm where you can go so fast and you can just get on the ball and you can hand signal your 2-man route combinations or 3-man if you're in bunch, whatever it might be. And you have 6 code words that can get you to the runs that you like, because you're still going to be in 11 personnel. So the personnel doesn't have to change. And if you have the 6 code words and you can run any run that's up in those 6, then you should be able to just go out there and say those. Now, if you want to get under center because you are running a toss like we saw them run for the first time in a couple of years, then maybe you have to do more of a muddle huddle in that situation. And you have 4 or 5 plays off of that so that you don't fall into a tendency of, hey, when they muddle huddle, they're going to run.
I'm fine with huddling. Just get to line and go, though.
Yeah.
Just get to line and go. The main thing is just standing there at the line, letting the defense adjust, letting the defense, like, chill out, catch their breath. It's just too passive. And I get it. It's a first-time coordinator. Want to make sure all of his guys are in the perfect spot, but you have to be willing to embrace a little more chaos. The other thing there, take more shots. That's basically about as forward as you're going to hear right now of the coach saying, yeah, look, Max needs to be more aggressive. Like we need to be coaching him more aggressive, but he also needs to be more aggressive. Everybody's trying to be too conservative and too perfect right now.
I did go back. I think I mentioned the stat yesterday. There's been 3 throws in the air, 20-plus yards so far in 2 games from Max Johnson. That number's got to go up. It's got to double at minimum, I think, this
Did
week.
Nuss have like 3 in like 5 plays?
He did.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Oshner.org today, Oshner.org. How about Team Oshner in the D-Generation Dome? 3-0 for team doctors. Apparently not just very knowledgeable about orthopedic health, but also about football. But look, the bottom line is if you're looking for somewhere to go for your orthopedic needs, go check out the Grove here in Baton Rouge or Oshner over there in New Orleans and get the best service possible, right? When you look at their facilities, they're going to blow your way, whether it's some pre-op facilities like MRI rooms, the actual ORs themselves, which have just been reworked to the latest technology, or the post-op rooms where they have things like antimicrobial blankets, right, and copper-infused surfaces to fight against infection. The bottom line is they build the best facilities, staff them with the best doctors and therapists, and give you the best treatment. So if you have anything nagging, anything sports related, stop accepting that pain. Get better today with Oshner. Go to Oshner.org.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Make this summer your backyard party year with Chris's Specialty Foods. Wings, burgers, brisket, steak, and boudin. Plus great Cajun side dishes. We do all the prep, and you enjoy laughing with friends and family. Chris's Specialty Foods, Millerville, New Orleans, Prairieville, and Frisco.
Everybody loves Chris's authentic Cajun meat.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, the place that's going to be convenient for you during an inconvenient time. Look, you hear me talk about my 4 boys all the time, and sometimes things like stitches, well, they happen. And in fact, they have. And Patient Plus is always taking care of us, just like they'll do the same for you. And now with 7 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And also at PatientPlusUC.com, you can sign up for your appointment on the way to the clinic. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
To the heroes who are working tirelessly to care for our communities, we thank you. We will never forget the countless hours you dedicated on the front lines, choosing to risk your own health to fight for our friends, neighbors, and family members.
I mean, you guys are out on the front lines fighting it.
We are grateful for your heroic acts and unwavering spirit. Together, we are overcoming this adversity and make our state healthier and more vibrant again. Ochsner Health.
Callahan Injury Lawyers.
Good morning, everybody. It's 8 a.m. on Tuesday, September 14th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see rain with a high of 79. In case you missed hour 1 of the show, you can catch that shortly up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. Still to come, in Hour 2 of OTB, Mike Golic Jr. of ESPN Radio joins the show at 8:30, and in the third hour, Nick Underhill will stop by to talk Saints. We also have our OTB mailbag today, so get your questions in, tweet them, or ask them in the YouTube chat using the hashtag OTB mailbag, and we'll get them answered at 8:15. You can follow today's show on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN, or by subscribing to our YouTube for new content every day. You can also check us out on CST. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome to OTB Hour number 2. T-Bob, Jake, Mario, and Danny hanging out with you. Got a fun hour coming up. Got OTB mailbag in about 15 minutes here. Then we got Mike Golic Jr. coming on at 8:30. Talk to him about a little college football as a whole. Everything else. Still got our guy Nick Underhill coming on. Trying to get in touch with Don Jacks. We'll see if it happens today or not. I'm sure it'll happen sometime this week. Yeah, I mean, look, and so we'll start to talk more and more about Central Michigan. Wednesday's always kind of the turn the page day to the next week. But early on here in the process, I think we're seeing some goals develop, right? Get rid of, like we said, the look-away process. Start taking some deep shots. I mean, the more I think about it, it is crazy that you didn't take any deep shots against McNeese, right? I mean, at least from the starters. Nuss went in there, and it seems like that's all he did was try to take deep shots. But, like, you should be able to complete home runs against that team. You should be able to complete home runs against Central Michigan. And you know what? It's kind of a nice, Jake, driving range is maybe a bit too disrespectful to Central Michigan, especially because, you know, a lot of people are, the entire chat was just talking about how everybody's slamming Central Michigan gambling-wise. Right? I think the line opened at like 21, and now it's already down to like 17 or 16 or something. But if you are talking about relative risk-free zones to practice things in, if Max Johnson wants to get a little in-game comfortability with kind of throwing that ball up into a bit of danger and letting his receiver fight for it, this would feel like the perfect game to do that, right?
Yeah, and I think that has to happen. And Coach O even mentioned it. Like, they got to push the ball down the field more. And you're right about Nuss. Nuss did come in, and he's like, I'm going to show y'all exactly how far I can throw this football. And that's kind of his game. And there was a couple times, in fact, he could have picked up probably 10 to 12 yards on the ground, but he just pointed his receivers down to the end zone because he wanted to throw the football in that situation. But, you know, that's not Max's game, but it's got to become more of his game. Like, he's got to take some of those shots, especially if they're going to play certain coverages against you. We talked about it until we were blue in the face about UCLA and cover 0. Sometimes that's one of the best matchups you can have. It's one-on-one. Your guy's better than their guy. Let him go up and do it. And if you make a mistake, you just got to live with it because you have to take chances as well if you want to be a big play offense. Because, again, teams are going to start to play all the intermediate stuff that you've been having success with so far. Because think about all the big plays that LSU's had offensively so far. They've all been between the hashes. So you've got to have something outside of those hashes that scares corners and DBs and defensive coordinators to let them know, hey, we will throw this ball down the field. If you get a cover one look and you've got the receivers that you have, okay, we'll take some shots. I mean, just there's certain coverages where you have to say pre-snap wise, and we know Max knows enough about football to be able to check out, what one robber looks like. He's got to catch the ball and he's got to take that shot. So I'd like to see that. I thought we'd see it this week. Again, we charted it. Only 3 plays so far have gone 20 yards in the air with Max at the quarterback position, and I don't think any of them have been completed. So it's something they've got to get better at, or those safeties, man, they're going to start being 10 yards deep at most.
Scared money don't make money. And LSU is looking like they have less and less to lose, right? Like you gotta start taking some chances. The overly conservative approach is just not working for anybody involved trying to keep their job currently. So we'll see. Again, no look to sideline stuff. Start taking some shots. Max Johnson, start to unleash yourself a little bit. I'll be very intrigued to see that. We see that this weekend against Central Michigan. I mean, I feel like we will because, again, what O said last week definitely came to pass. They wanted a more diverse rushing attack. You saw that. Well, again, we'll see coming up. All right, right now, I want to get into, well, there's a few different things that we get into. I have the the College Football 19 Most Interesting Numbers Week 2 edition. And I got some SEC kind of thoughts as well, which, by the way, dude, how crazy. And the more I think about Arkansas and Texas on Saturday, I mean, really think about it, dude. Shout out to Sam Pittman. What a legend. Dude, I forgot that last year was when Arkansas broke that 20-game SEC losing streak.
Yeah. That's why
20 games in a row. That's almost 3 seasons.
It was the most celebrated 3-win season of all time because of where they had been before that. And in fact, I mean, if you go back, they truly won 4 games because Auburn absolutely should have lost that game that they allowed them to win. And they were in a couple more contests. Certainly against LSU, they were in that contest. So, yeah, you're going to celebrate the hell out of 3 games when you haven't won in 20-plus or whatever it was in the SEC. And that's an all-SEC schedule. They've got the toughest schedule in the country this year. And so their first test, they get a big win. And it was the perfect storm for Arkansas, right? You had SEC Nation in town. You had Marty McGee in town.
Yeah.
You had Justin Moore, the country music superstar, in town on all the things that they were doing there. You had a sold-out crowd for the first time since 2017.
Yeah.
It was the first time that your new additions to your stadium were able to be sold out. Everything was the perfect storm for Arkansas if they won that game. And not only did they win it, they dominated.
Have you seen the video of the AD basically
Under
being
your
like,
check?
Yeah.
It's so good. No, we're good. Hey, no, we're going to let them. No. Yeah, we're going to let them.
Telling the police, we're going to get fined. And they did. They got fined $100,000.
Yeah, they did.
Today.
I'm sure he happily paid that money.
Yes. I think the Arkansas faithful. But yeah, so think about that, dude. So when Sam Pittman took over, they were on a 20-game SEC losing streak. They broke that last year. And now, not only did they just beat Texas, Jake, but Arkansas finds himself in the top 25. You know, I don't think they hang in the top 25 over the course of the season. Maybe they do. Maybe I'm wrong here. I don't think they hang in the top 25 over the course of the season, but even getting them to be ranked from where he started to where he is, Sam Pittman deserves a ton of love. Okay, something else that I did not realize. WTFSU. I didn't realize how bad that Jacksonville State loss actually was, dude. Do you know what Jacksonville State did game 1?
They got housed by UAB.
31-0. So this team went from losing 31-0, then getting paid $400K to go to Tallahassee and win that game on a Hail Mary. And so now, like, there's a lot of questions, you know, that Notre Dame FSU game. Were those two good teams? Well, obviously not. FSU was not. But, like, what is Notre Dame even this year? Still highly ranked, but barely escaping against that Seminole team. And then that Toledo game the other day. I mean, Breeze was great on the call. The game, not so much. We'll actually talk to Golic Jr. about that coming up. Like, who better to talk to about a little Notre Dame? What do you like? Do you think Notre Dame, how do they factor into national college football this year?
No, I don't think they do. You don't almost lose to a team in Florida State that loses to Jacksonville State at home, and then you absolutely had an opportunity to lose against Toledo there, and you have to have a comeback. Not saying they're going to have a losing record or anything, but they're not going to be there in the end. I mean, I can definitely see 4 losses for Notre Dame this season. I mean, they haven't even played the toughest games by far on their schedule yet. So Notre Dame, and you kind of felt like it was going to be a rebuilding year. Anytime like Ian Book was the quarterback for 72 years, right? And then you have to start over, and sometimes it just takes a little bit. It takes a little bit to get that chemistry going. They lost a lot of their talent as well. So Notre Dame, I know it brings pain to a lot of people. They're not going to be any good.
Yeah, we'll talk to Golic Jr. about it. Okay, look, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to save off on the most interesting numbers for college football just because I want to get to Mailbag next. I don't want to get to more questions this week. And then we got Michael Jr. coming off. So as a quick little aside here, I'll throw in something. I didn't know how to work this in the show, so it's a great little tasty morsel. Rest in peace to Mick Tinglehoff. Have you ever heard of Mick Tinglehoff? NFL Hall of Famer?
I've not heard of
Hell of a name, right? Hell of a name, right? Sounds right out of Santa's workshop. Mick Tinglehoff. Like, that sounds like it should be a weak name. This might be the toughest man that ever lived. He was born on a farm in Nebraska.
Okay.
Played both ways with the Cornhuskers back in college, center and linebacker. He ended up playing 17 years for the Vikings, Jake. It was old school NFL, okay? He was rookies in 1962. He was a rookie in 1962. This man played in 358 straight football games. He played in 4 Super Bowls, all the preseason games throughout his career. If you factor in every single preseason game every single game, every single playoff game. He started and played every play of 300, maybe not every play, but he never missed time for injury in practice or anything. Yeah. 17 straight years, 358 games in a row back in the 60s and the 70s, bro. Mick Tinglehoff.
Rest I'm a fan of Mick Tinglehoff now. Absolutely.
I mean, put some respect in that dude's name. The best part, Jake, undrafted. Not even drafted coming out of Nebraska. I mean, if that isn't grit personified, Grit Tinglehoff. Congratulations to you, man. Look at that face mask from back in the day, too. What a legend. So a key member, the center of those very good Vikings team that just never managed to win it. Yeah, so I guess in 1962, his rookie year, the second preseason game, he became the starter, and he never let go for 17 years. Unreal.
Hell of a deal.
All right, OTB Mailbag coming up next. You're welcome. Tinglehoff. Keep it locked, OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Good.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
I'll start. Go to GoRoof, GEAUXroof.com, GEAUXroof.com. They spell it that way because they, you get it, right? They're from the community. They're from Louisiana. And they want to make sure that the community's roofing needs are taken care of. And I know storms have been crazy lately, obviously. Ida rolling through, and now more rain coming over the next couple of days. And if your roof is having any problems, or even if your roof is thinking, or if you're thinking your roof is having problems, call 927-8300. That's 927-8300, or go to GEAUXroof.com. You can get a free professional estimate. So it doesn't cost you anything up front to figure out exactly where you and your roof stand. Then once work begins, obviously everybody's licensed, bonded, and insured. If insurance covers it, great. If not, they can work with you to find payment options that work, because they just want to make sure that the job gets done. They also stand by the quality of their work. A 2-year workmanship guarantee on top of the manufacturer warranty. So when Work or Grow Roof, you're going to find you get a beautiful new roof every shingle time.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Front to Back Boat Service has been family owned and operated for 30 years. And the Sherman family is NMEA certified. That's the National Marine Electronics Association at Front to Back. They are committed to improving the safety and technology of marine electronics through installer training, interface standards. And look, the fall and the winter, it's the perfect time to do that yearly maintenance you've been putting off. Get those parts you've been wanting. So schedule your appointment today at Front to Back, North Airway off of Airline Highway.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This is a house call.
This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
It's week 3 in the high school football season, and we get started Friday night at 6 with Louisiana Prep Preview, followed by Catholic High and West Monroe at 7. And we wrap things up with a full 2 hours of the Lake Urgent Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on YouTube, CST, and 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What up, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. All right, let's go ahead and dive right in. We got our mailbag. All right, now, let's go ahead and dive in. OTB.
Special delivery! I have this special delivery for Off the Bench. And look, it is marked most urgent.
We'll be writing to you.
The internet. What the is the internet?
All right, so he says graphics are popping this morning. Chandler, if you have been around for a while, Danny's been killing it. It's only continuing. Great job. All right. Hashtag OGB mailbag. Before seeing Drew's new hair, were you aware that Chia Pet came in black? Damn.
Hey, man, look, if you got the money to go get some new, go get some new.
He doesn't look as awkward as Brian Urlacher looked like when he ran.
That's because we knew him as a bald man for so long.
That was the weirdest. That was by far the weirdest and the most uncomfortable.
He was so good.
Jason Witten was pretty uncomfortable.
Breeze.
Yeah, his was like a transplant or was his like a hairpiece?
I don't know, bro.
Looked bad.
I don't remember because I know he came he was bald the next football season, right?
Breeze's hair from some angles looked great, but like. There were a couple of, granted, you're under the lights and everything, where maybe it didn't look so good. Like one, he looked, somebody on Twitter had it, but it looked like Uncle, or is it Grandpa Lewis? Lewis from Christmas Vacation, the old man, right? I mean, look, like that's not the best thing.
I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
No, there's nothing wrong, man.
I don't think it's bad.
Like he was patchy and he wanted to fix the situation. I ain't hating.
Yeah, bro. Hell yeah. If I signed multiple $100 million deals or whatever it was, I'd definitely do whatever signs could to
I'd look like Sideshow Bob if I could. All the hair.
Hashtag OPB mailbag. Would you propose at the end of a loss?
No, I told y'all yesterday, as someone who did it after a football contest, 2006 LSU Arkansas was a really tight game. I mean, they were actually ranked in the top 5. They went to the SEC championship game that year, but we did beat them. And I had it ready to go. If we lose the game, I was not doing it. That's just everybody there knew. If we lost, wasn't going to do it. Was going to save it for the bowl game. My dad had it.
Okay.
And then once we won, he handed it off to me right there as I walked out of the locker room.
Okay. Nice job. You know what? I've kind of come around on this guy.
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. I'm okay with it, dude. I'm okay with it.
With the team celebrating in the back?
All the through thick and thin stuff, right?
I get what you're saying. I do get it. But, man, if you're his teammate, like if Will would have done that after a loss.
In sickness and in health.
What would you have said to Blackwell?
I mean, I would, you maybe question where the focus is at a little bit. But, hey, you know what? I'm happy for my boy getting married. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Why is it okay if a little bit of water gets in your milk, but not a little bit of milk in your water? It's a great question. I think it's a pretty simple answer, though. It's the visual effect, right?
Yeah.
A little water in the milk, you're not noticing. Granted, I don't want that either, but you're not noticing. A little milk in the water, and all of a sudden, you got some cloudy-ass water. And that looks gross and feels gross.
Yeah, that's not good.
No, it's a visual thing, 100%.
Like, milk's not something that needs to be mixed with water anytime. Like, it needs to be mixed with cereal or coffee.
Are you still eating a bowl of cereal every night?
I'm not.
Wow.
I'm not.
So you just quit that when you came on this show?
Yeah, I felt like you were judging me so much.
Oh, my God.
I just stopped it.
Who has had the better start, Peets or Jones?
It's a good question. I think you can go with Jones right now because I think Durante got the communication things from UCLA game fixed. Not to say that, they can't be beat by teams coming up on their schedule by any means, but there was communication things in week 1. We broke it down a couple of times. 10 guys playing one coverage, the other guy playing another. I didn't see that on the breakdown when I watched McNeese. I thought the defensive line in the first half against UCLA played really well. They got beat in the second half. They came back and they played 2 really good quarters. I know the opponent, but at least the communication things we saw in week 1 didn't bleed over to week 2.
Yeah, I mean, they've just objectively played better defensively, and so the ceiling feels much higher there as well. Big test is going to be, okay, how do they handle Mississippi State, right? Are you about to get out-schemed and dominated on crossing routes again? Will you see zone coverage? Like, how will the attack look? But definitely Jones had. The thing I feel for Pete's, now look, let's be clear. I have a lot of problems with the Pete's attack so far, right? Chasing the ghost of Joe Brady led to no diversity in the rush attack week 1. The look to the sideline stuff, not working. Overall, just too conservative of feel. Then again, Durante Jones has a line featuring Quaylen Roy, Mason Smith, Andre Anthony, these guys to work with. Jake Pete says,
not those guys.
The offensive line, which is just, I mean, it's the reason why I have no hope for this year, really. I would love to be proved wrong, but it is the reason why.
Yeah, and the things that when you turn on the tape, and T-Bob, you've done a great job of breaking down the tape and kind of sending us some clips as well. If you were just getting beat because you just don't have the skill, that would be one thing. But when you're not doing the right things, and when you're having poor technique, and when you're turning both your numbers to the sidelines, which you should never do as an offensive lineman, and when you have like a running back picking up, free guys, when you've got 3 offensive linemen policing the area, like those are the things that are going to get you beat. Like even if you don't have the same skills as the guy in front of you, if you're doing the right thing, you can at least affect what he's doing. If you're not using technique and you're bad and you have misassignments, then it doesn't really matter who's out there because you're going to be bad regardless.
So what happens if you're maybe not that good to begin with, and
that's
then
what I'm
you're
saying.
doing those things?
That's what, like if you're not that good to begin with, and you use the proper technique, as you know, T, like you can hide some things.
Hell yeah, you can, dude.
Maybe you can scheme.
The 07, the 11 teams didn't have any NFL players on there.
No, it's hard as hell to scheme up some stuff when guys have poor technique and the guy across from him is beating them off his physical athletic ability.
Oof. Hashtag OGB Mailbag, charcoal or propane barbecue grill?
So propane and propane accessories.
Yeah, look, propane's just so easy, right? The ease of use is incredible. But I respect the charcoal beast.
I do.
I think that charcoal is
a
higher level of grilling.
But Hank Hill. I love Hank Hill.
But I mean, and propane is just so simple. Though there's nothing I love more than if you're at like the camp or something and getting like a little cheap $10 charcoal
throwaway
pit.
grill,
a little throwaway, and then just throw some charcoal on that, throw some burgers on. That's always a good feeling. Hashtag OGB Mailbag. Should the wide receivers end every practice with 100 caught balls before they can leave, and if they drop one, they start over?
Yes.
Didn't JJ Redick usually do free throws maybe or something? Am I making that up?
I thought we didn't say JJ's name on the show anymore. I thought Mario said we couldn't say it.
Old man in the 3.
I thought he said we couldn't say it. We're good? We can say it?
Oh, man. The
in
Pelicans.
this context.
Okay.
Thank God for Jameis Winston.
Yeah, that's just not something we saw. I mean, you went out to the scrimmages and practices. We didn't see that. Like, that's got to get fixed because
I don't know, man. Yeah, and it was everybody.
Young fellas, they're counting on y'all.
It was everybody. Dre Jenkins, Alex Adams, obviously Brian Thomas, like even Keyshawn Butte in the 2-minute drill. Now, I'm not going to judge Butte, but even he technically had a statistical drop in that 2-minute drill, so really bad. But a bit of an outlier. Right, let's see if this carries over to next week before you judge it too hard. Hashtag OGB Mailbag. Is playing at 11 a.m. next week a good or a bad thing for LSU?
I hated it as a player. I can't come up here and say like, oh, it's great because you have the rest of your day. I mean, you do after the game. After the game,
yeah, that's
right?
what I'm saying.
But like for the game, is it a good thing?
I love it if you knew you were going to whip that team's ass. I mean,
right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Dude.
And typically when we were playing an 11 a.m. game, it was Mississippi State, and we knew we were going to whip their ass. But so this
Even
is
though I
this
did
one's
almost
a little
lose
bit
in that
different.
time slot, the crazy Chad Jones game where he had like the punt return and everything.
Yeah.
But I used
They
to
did
love
it a couple times in 19. That team obviously built a little different, and it was no problem.
But yeah, like the problem is, like Jake said, we knew we were going to win, so it was awesome because you just win. You get out, you get to party with your friends and watch football and everything.
Yeah.
I'm guessing I think it's kind of irrelevant, to be quite frank, but I do feel like because LSU always plays at night, that Mississippi State may be a bit better at 11 a.m., especially because it's going to be a home game and they're friendly confines. So I maybe a slight edge to MSU.
The one thing on the road, though, that you will notice about an 11 a.m. kick, the fans haven't had their chance to really get hydrated, and they don't show up as early or in the same numbers that they would if it was a night game.
That is true.
So maybe there's a couple of less cowbells.
Like Rivers was mad that it was at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
So, and she's our Mississippi State representative.
Even though she picks against her team.
Hashtag OTP Mailbag. Would you try to catch the Hard Rock Cat or let him die? Jeez.
I mean, I wouldn't let the guy die.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of cats by any means.
I would try to encourage somebody else to catch him if we're keeping it real.
I would have been holding the flag.
Okay.
I'd have been holding the flag. No doubt about it. I love cats, and I think the flag was the correct play to break the fall. Hashtag OTB Mailbag. With Central Michigan being a big passing team, do you think Stingley has a big game this weekend? If they attack him, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, possibly. Obviously, when you look at Central Michigan, I think they had 500 total yards of offense against Robert Morris a week ago.
The problem is right now, like, nobody has to attack.
31 first downs, by the way. They threw for 205, but they ran for 310. Central Michigan did last week. So I don't really know if I consider them a passing team when you run for 310. I mean, it looks like they're pretty balanced.
Also, like, the problem with LSU right now, and it's something my dad talked about from last year, where he was like, I don't care if you got Stingley and Ricks on the outside. I can kill you over the middle. I can kill you at other positions. So I don't even have to look Stingley and Ricks' way, and I'll still murder you. So they have to get that fixed. What do you expect LSU's record to be at the end of the year? Who they beat, who they lose to?
Good God, who knows? I mean, there's so much uncertainty right now with who they have available, the injuries. There's a lot of purple pants on the sideline on Saturday.
7-5 to 6-6 feels the most realistic, I think. I don't know who, but like, yeah, I can't really predict who the exact wins and losses.
After that 11 a.m. kick at Moose State, I can tell you a lot more.
Yes, for sure. Hashtag OTB Mailbag. It's National Cream-Filled Donut Day. What's your favorite filled donut?
I like jelly.
Oh, you're ready for that.
Jelly's good.
Oh, yeah, jelly's great.
Especially when it's hot.
Bavarian cream?
But I believe I, too, enjoy the Bavarian cream the best.
Mm-hmm.
It is very tasty.
I'm
Danny,
going lemon.
Cream pot? What?
Lemon.
Oh, lemon filled.
Oh,
wow.
That's
Danny,
weird.
fancy, dude. You know what I love?
Oh, love a good lemon filled.
A bear claw.
I got bear claws lodged.
But do you ever? But I mean,
Chris
you ever?
Farley?
Yeah, for sure. But do you ever eat bear claws?
Yeah, they're good. No,
They're really good. I didn't know if you have them in your donut rotation.
Dude,
I think they're great.
You know this about me, T. Like, sweets are my thing. I would eat, like, donuts and cereal and candy for, like, dinner if I could.
How much liquor's in your coffee cups? Nothing. But how much? What you should be asking.
Depends
Jake,
on if it's Friday.
Jake, how do you make your coffee?
I use Splenda and skim milk.
How many Splendas?
Ooh, if it's like a tall boy like this, I'll go 3. If it's a normal coffee mug, I'll go 2.
Hell yeah, Bo. Hashtag go to Mailbag. Last one here. What was the first concert or live show you ever saw?
Ooh, boy.
You can't remember. What's your favorite?
I remember. It's unfortunate. So I saw New Kids on the Block in the Hirsch Coliseum in Shreveport. But does it save me that Boyz II Men opened up for them?
Okay, New Kids on the Block, Boys. Man, what's wrong with seeing New Kids on the Block? Mark was hitting back in the day.
Yeah, no, I mean, and y'all know me. Like, I'm okay. Like, I will jam some NSYNC and some boy bands on some bumper music coming back. It's not that. It's just like I feel like that's not exactly where my music loyalties lie. Like, I'm more of a blues or jazz is my go-to, my favorite. So it's kind of weird to say New Kids on the Block.
Yeah, Boys II Men though. I mean that's right.
Boys
that's right
to
there.
Men.
That's right there with you.
Okay.
Mine was Newfound Glory and Good Charlotte.
Ooh.
Yeah,
boy.
junior high. Hell of a time.
I can. Oh my God, I can see you there.
Yeah.
Sounds
That was
fun.
hype. In
I
the
can
mosh
see
pit.
you cargo shorts, button-up shirt, probably short sleeve button-up shirt.
Yeah, probably nailed me actually. Dead
I
to
mean-
rights. Cargo shorts almost assuredly. maybe like an Abercrombie T-shirt on, right?
Okay.
I might have still might have been the phase 2 where I would go like collared shirt underneath the Abercrombie T-shirt. You know what I'm talking about? Collar popping out.
That's aggressive.
Yeah. I did catch a pick.
That was your first concert, though.
I caught a pick from one of the Madden brothers.
Okay. You still have it?
No, I brought it with me everywhere and I lost it. Benji and Joel. I really liked Good Charlotte. And I really like Newfound Glory. Embarrassing, yes.
Newfound Glory's song would be...
I don't know off the top of my head.
I don't either.
I'd recognize what I heard. All right, let's go to break. When we get back, Mike Golic Jr.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All right, go to Louisiana811.com. There you will find all the information on what we've been telling you about over the last couple of weeks. Remember, if you put a shovel in the ground in the state of Louisiana, you have to dial 811 for them to come out. It's a free service to you. They come out, they clearly mark exactly where the buried lines are, so you make sure that you stay safe and you keep those around you safe. And it is, in fact, the law. Like we give you the law. Louisiana Underground Utilities and Facilities Damage Prevention Law. You can find out exactly what that wording is on Louisiana811.com, but just listen. It's incredibly easy. Like you just pick up the phone, you dial 811, and they come out. Again, it is free for you. And remember, with this weather that we've been having, including last night, maybe some of those buried lines aren't buried anymore, so you have to be incredibly safe, and that's why you have to make that call. And if you don't want to make the call, for whatever reason, you can do it at Louisiana811.com. You can submit a ticket right there on the website. So you can call or click 811, Louisiana811.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. Need repair? Our service department is ready and available to help you today. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Introducing Vizzy Lemonade, the only lemonade hard seltzer with antioxidant vitamin C. It just hits different. All new Vizzy Lemonade. Step up your seltzer game.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster.
Join us for a Tuesday edition of Hunt and Hill. We'll give you our SEC power rankings, check in on Saints practice,
and it's Shark Week for the Tigers. We'll talk about LSU and Central Michigan. Underhill, noon to 2 weekdays on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Damn you, Kevin Nash. Tasing Goldberg at Starrcade 2000. I'll never forgive you.
Broke the streak.
Broke the streak. All right now, it is my pleasure to welcome in one of football's favorite people, and that is Mike Golic Jr. Again, I've also described myself as the great value Golic Jr., right? Both generally affable O-linemen, NFL fathers who went on to become radio stars, following in the father's footsteps into radio, just unlike, your local great value brand right here. So let's welcome in the big brand, Mike Golic Jr. Golic, what's up, man?
I would say both very large brands, physically, personality-wise here. So I don't want you selling yourself short just for the intro fee, although I appreciate it, brother.
Okay, Mike, so we're going to start here, and I recognize that this is an aggressive opening to the interview, but I apologize. So the Florida State Notre Dame game, crazy, awesome, week one, right? Whoa, what a battle. Now Florida State loses to Jacksonville State. Notre Dame, and that another wild one with Toledo. Breeze was great on the call, though. Congrats on getting Breeze and Tariq on the call. That's awesome. But how are the Irish faithful feeling right now about how what's the view of Notre Dame amongst the community?
It's not a great feeling right now. I would say, to quote the late, great Denny Green, we are who we thought they were. This is a spot where I looked at the Notre Dame team this year and I said 8-win floor, maybe a 10-11 win ceiling. And we're seeing some of the reasons why that floor is there. Certainly, you've got big playmakers there. I think Michael Mayer leads the NCAA tight ends right now in targets and yards. Kyron Williams still looks like the back that we saw from last year, but Marcus Freeman and that defense have given up more big plays already through 2 games this year of 60-plus yards than Notre Dame's defense did all of last year. The offensive line that had to replace 4 guys that went on to play NFL football is looking like a group that's been patched together and hit hard by injury at left tackle. And so I can give you a lot of reasons why, but at the end of the day, as much as I respect Coach Candle and what that Toledo program is, it never should have been that close in South Bend. And this team has got to figure out what their identity is going to be on offense, what they're going to major in, because it looks different this year. And on defense, they have to start to stop the bleeding here. And the big playmakers like Kyle Hamilton have to start being more of the solution.
And, Mike, certainly Notre Dame plays a lot of ACC games with that tie-in there. And we started talking about the ACC yesterday and kind of the pecking order of that conference because Clemson loses their opening game to Georgia, and they avoid North Carolina and Miami in the ACC. And a lot of people just assume that Clemson can run the table, get to the ACC championship game, beat North Carolina, Miami, Virginia Tech, whoever it might be, and still be in the playoffs. So as we look at the ACC, do you think that's factual, that Clemson's schedule is strong enough that they can run the table and get back in the playoff picture?
It's not because their schedule is strong enough. This is kind of about time already served, right?
Yeah.
People know what they're getting when they buy the brand of Clemson at the college football playoff level. I've always said, you've got to show the committee you're not going to embarrass them when you get to that level. And Clemson showed that time and time again. And so I think Ohio State losing in week 2 gave them a little bit of breathing room here. That was the life support that they needed to be back in this conversation. So, yes, I still think they're in this conversation in a very meaningful way. I still think they perform well when they get to that stage, but they're not going to have many chances to prove it left here now in the rest of this season. You'll get Wake Forest, you'll get Boston College, who just lost their quarterback, I believe, Phil Jurkovec. I saw he posted a picture of his hand in a cast on his throwing arm on Instagram the other day. So not a lot in the way of quality wins, but still a quality team.
Talking to Mike Golic Jr. here on Off the Bench. So, Mike, this last week with LSU McNeese, Coach O had a weird situation, right? He had to play his son, who was the quarterback for McNeese. They sacked him 8 times. He had to beat the crap out of his son. You had a father-son moment that was much more heartwarming. You and your dad both on the call for the Mississippi State game Saturday, him on radio, you on television. Did you room with your dad? How was the weekend?
Didn't room with him. Had to keep a separation of church and state there. But I'll say this. We did our coaches meetings Friday night when we got into town with NC State at their hotel. And I get a note from my producer, hey, the radio crew wants to sit in on this coaches meeting, as is, sometimes happens. I looked my dad square in the eye and I said, if you open your mouth to ask a single question in my meeting, I'm going to punch you in the face in front of Dave Doran. I'm going to punch you right in the face. And wouldn't you know it, he sat over there. I thought he was going to pop through most of that meeting. And finally, because I am both a great son and a merciful friend, I look over at him and say, all right, have at it here. And he lit up like a kid in a candy store. And the best part of all this, guys, got him to pay for dinner when we went out Friday.
Yeah.
Still got the fastball in the arsenal, baby.
Yeah, I mean, come on. It's your dad. You got to pay for dinner. He's been at this quite a while. Oh, wow. We're watching a Mike Golic Jr. 5-hour energy commercial in the studio while we're talking to Mike Golic Jr. What a Inception type of moment this is. Mike, do you feel like you have any superiority over your father because you were on the TV call and he was on the radio call?
No, that's kind of a bit of a circumstance thing there more than anything. Dad's been calling games for a good long time and is damn good at it. So it worked out that I was on the right side of the plexiglass, this one with the TV cameras, but him and Kate Scott had a great call for Learfield. We were literally the booths, and they showed this on the broadcast. The radio booth for the national call and our booth for the TV call were also right next to each other and separated by only a pane of plexiglass. So I was getting flipped off by my dad in the middle of that game as we broke in between quarters.
That's so fantastic. Hey, so what did you see out of Mississippi State? Because obviously, Mike, you know this. It's a little sketchy around Baton Rouge right now, okay? Morale is decidedly not high. And now you have the Mississippi State team where, like, week one, you're like, okay, well, at least State might be bad, but then they go in to beat the hell out of NC State. How do you kind of feel early on about this Bulldog LSU matchup that'll be on ESPN at noon next week?
You better get out in front of them quick. The way Mississippi State won last week is not sustainable. I will say that right off the bat. But Mike Leach has a gritty football team, and he's a gambler, and so it worked out well. They had a special team kickoff return touchdown to start the game that knocked NC State off. But then after that, NC State controlled the first, I'd say, quarter of that game, quarter and a half, using tempo on offense to kind of stymie that Mississippi State defense. Their defense was running up and hitting everything. And then the NC State offense didn't capitalize in the red zone and gave Mississippi State too many chances. Their defense is a gritty unit there. I was coming in impressed by linebackers like Brule and company, but that 3-down defensive front, if you are not careful, is going to raise hell in the backfield there. They were living behind the line for a good NC State offensive line. And then offensively, Will Rogers made just enough plays. Like, this is the death by 1,000 cuts offense. They were first in attempts per game last year at just north of 50, but it operates more like a running game. So I don't think the way they went about winning this game is sustainable. I want to say that again, but they've got a tough football team, and Mike Leach is going to gamble in enough of the right spots that if you want to keep this thing close, they can absolutely burn you.
And, Mike, I know we're kind of going all over the place with you, but I want to talk real quick about the Pac-12 because it's been interesting dynamics so far. Because Oregon, 2-0, they get the big win against Ohio State. USC fires Clay Helton after getting embarrassed by Stanford. UCLA, really big boy LSU, right? It got caught like it is, and they're 2-0. Arizona State's 2-0. So how do you kind of feel like the Pac-12 is going right now? Because some of the teams we thought were going to be kind of better this year, i.e. Washington, they lose to Montana, and Oregon's got this big win again, like I said. So do you think there's a team that can come out of the Pac-12, and how do you have the pecking order right now?
Yeah, it's right now Oregon leading the charge, and I think everybody else after that. UCLA has been a good team and a good story. I did not expect them, as you brought up, to be as big a bully on both sides of the ball as they've been. They're a tough football team up front. Their O-line's really fun to watch, but Dorian Thompson-Robinson, I don't trust as a passer yet.
Agree.
And when push comes to shove and you're going to go to that next level, you can't just be doing one thing. For Oregon, and I know we just had the Mississippi State conversation, Bulldog fans, cover your ears. Joe Moorhead was in his bag.
Yeah, dude, he was. Yeah, he was incredible.
I mean, that was one of the best games we've seen from a play caller in quite some time. They made an Ohio State defense that's been the banner for that program for years now look pedestrian in so many instances. So I think it's Oregon. I mean, we know Mario Cristobal's looked to build a bully there offensively for a while. Defensively, too, that unit. Stout up front, Noah Sewell, Panay's younger brother, looks like an absolute hammer at linebacker for them. They pushed around Ohio State's offense, quite frankly. So I would say it's Oregon and then everybody else because, listen, the other banner program involved in all of this, SC, is in disarray right now. I love Colorado and what's going on there. Carl Durrell has got those boys playing tough ball, held Texas A&M in check for a lot of that game. But, again, I just don't know if there's enough firepower there to really rise above anything other than a quality program and a good story in a second year now under that coach.
I mean, dude, the Pac-12 is just too strong in the trenches. Been saying it for years. Just winning the game up front, dude.
That's right.
Mike, where are you on the call this weekend?
Heading actually back to Mississippi. I got Tulane on the road at Ole Miss this weekend. So the last road trip before the boys at Tulane finally get to head back home down by you guys. Know that certainly everyone's been dealing with a lot there, and that program, like a lot of people, been displaced by things. So Willie Fritz and the guys got one more road stand before they come on home.
That's an interesting game. That is an interesting game. I think Ole Miss is a 2-touchdown favorite, but Tulane showed in Norman that sudden change, having to move that game from New Orleans to Norman, 40-35, certainly had their chances to win it. Hey, that could be a shootout, and I like Pratt at quarterback for Tulane. That could be a 45-40 game real fast, Mike.
My producer already told me don't count on getting many replays in this game right now.
That's true.
I think through 2 games, Ole Miss has over 60 first downs. That offense is a machine, but Chip Long coming over, a guy I saw a lot, was the OC at Notre Dame for 3 years before spending last year at Tennessee as an analyst. And then I got to give him some love because he's my guy and because I think the unit showed out so far. Tulane's got an O-line full of dudes with bad intentions up there. And Chris Watt, my former teammate, played left guard next to Zach Martin for 4 years at Notre Dame, is now the offensive line coach at Tulane. And you're seeing a lot of very familiar things. Chris is a name I think is going to be looked at by a lot of folks around college football for what he's putting on tape with these guys. But that's a unit where, hey, listen, Alex Grinch and those dudes from Oklahoma came into the season talked about very highly. And now for DJ Durkin and that Ole Miss defense that got a lot of love coming off the Louisville game that just racked up on Austin Peay last week, I wouldn't start reading your press clippings because this Tulane unit's ready to punch you in the mouth if you're not careful.
Absolutely love it, man. Can't wait to watch you on the call. Mike Golic Jr. at Mike Golic Jr. on Twitter. Also, chat loves your Bachelor in Paradise takes, so keep up the great work, Mike. And we'll talk to you later.
It's the best franchise in the Bachelor universe. Get on board if you're not already.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree. I've fallen off a normal Bachelor completely and wholly. All right, Mike, take it easy, man. Have a great day.
See you guys.
We'll get back here on Off the Bench. Let's wrap up hour number 2. We still got a ton to get to, as well as Nick Underhill. Nick Underhill has completed his New Orleans Saints film review. The article's on NewOrleans.football right now. We'll break it down with him coming up in a little under an hour, about 50 minutes from now. So quick segment to wrap up hour 2. When we get back, keep it locked, OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All right, go into the App Store and download the DraftKings app today. So last night, you could have had a chance to win $1 million. And it's Showdown Captain mode. You select the captain, you select 5 other players, and you would have had that opportunity. But don't worry, there's no football tonight, but there's still plenty of games to be played. Major League Baseball, you're going to have different contests. You can go classic with the 10-player lineup. College football is available as well. There's so many different ways, so many different games to play. I mean, you can play golf, you can play soccer, MMA, NASCAR, you name it. They've got a daily fantasy for it, T-Bob.
Oh, man. Do you play any soccer?
I mean, what do you think?
Yeah.
Certainly.
Play it all. So again, if you download DraftKings today, it's finally legal here now, thank God. Use the promo code Baton Rouge, all one word, promo code Baton Rouge. When you do so, you get that free chance to win millions of dollars for the prizes, including $1 million giant cash prize. Go to DraftKings, download the app today. That's DraftKings, promo code Baton Rouge.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person, connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Coming up on a Tuesday edition of Early Line, Rafael Esparza of MyBookie.com joins the show from Las Vegas, and we take an early look at some lines from Week 3 in college football and Week 2 in the NFL. Early Line, 2 p.m., 104.5 ESPN.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
There you go, Maury. You've made Jake very happy.
I'm done having this conversation.
You're playing the words. Good job, dude.
Just do it. Do it.
Do it.
I love Hall Notes. That's why I added them. Yeah.
You had what?
I added Hall Notes to the playlist.
You love Hall Notes, Dan. Yeah. Oh, wow. Aren't you a little onion? Just peel back the layers. Never know what you're going to get, do we, Danny? Even though you were just trying to clown Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
He was he not, Jake?
So now we're bringing off-air conversations back on.
Yeah, don't.
Okay,
no. Don't team up with him. Don't team up with him. I knew you wanted to. I knew you wanted to.
That's fair, Danny.
Did he say don't? Did he say don't say anything, or did he try to clown Baton Rouge the same way where you silly?
It's an understood rule.
So what happened is,
I think it is a rule that has.
No, it's not.
Has its place. It doesn't
a lot
have
of
to be
great
spoken.
content takes place during the commercial break to be brought to air. Molinaro's coming to town this Friday with his wife. First time ever in Baton Rouge, finally, after the LSU love affair of 2019. And he watches every game. He was texting me about Nussmeier last Saturday as it was going on.
Watching McNeese.
Yes, watching
Deep
McNeese
cut.
when Nuss was in the game. Okay, so he's hyped. And I was like, where should we take him out this Friday, blah, blah. And then it was like, what, there's not enough place in Baton Rouge, just can't figure out where to go? I mean, just because you run off to New Orleans
there's too
every
many
Friday.
places to choose out of.
Yeah.
I was saying something good.
That was sincere?
Yes, it was sincere.
That was sincere?
Yes.
And was it sarcastic, Danny?
Not at all.
Okay. Hour 3 days.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All right, go to GoTrosOutdoorPower.com. Once you get on the website, we invite you to check out all the fantastic Hustler equipment that they have, the zero turns, residential or commercial, right? Whenever it's time to choose that commercial lawnmower, you've got choices, but Hustler is the best choice. That's why you go check out the fleet over at GoTros. They are Hustler's #1 dealer in the state of Louisiana, and they have got it all, right? If you're looking for power equipment, you know they've got it as well. Generators, power washers, they've got that. They've got all your Hustler needs taken care of over at GoTros.
And look, you probably could have guessed this from the name, but GoTros is a local family-owned business started by Shane Gotro almost a couple of decades ago now. An amazing grassroots story. But look, the bottom line is you're not going to get service from any other dealer like you're going to get from Gotros, okay? We're talking pickup and delivery services on your purchases and repairs. We're talking full parts departments, full service departments. Again, GoTrosOutdoorPower.com. Gotros Outdoor Power.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
I'm feeling good. So good. I just thought you should know.
To the heroes who are working tirelessly to care for our communities, we thank you. We will never forget the countless hours you dedicated on the front lines, choosing to risk your own health to fight for our friends, neighbors, and family members.
I mean, you guys are out on the front lines fighting it.
We are grateful for your heroic acts and unwavering spirit. Together, we are overcoming this adversity and make our state healthier and more vibrant again. Ochsner Health.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Make this summer your backyard party year with Chris's Specialty Foods. Wings, burgers, brisket, steak, and boudin, plus great Cajun side dishes. We do all the prep, and you enjoy laughing with friends and family. Chris's Specialty Foods, Millerville, New Orleans, Prairieville, and Frisco.
Everybody loves Chris's authentic Cajun meat.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, the place that's going to be convenient for you during an inconvenient time. Look, you hear me talk about my 4 boys all the time, and sometimes things like stitches, well, they happen. And in fact, they have. And Patient Plus is always taking care of us, just like they'll do the same for you. And now with 7 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And also at PatientPlusUC.com, you can sign up for your appointment on the way to the clinic. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
Sir Callahan Injury Lawyers.
Good morning, everybody. It's 9 a.m. on Tuesday, September 14th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see thunderstorms with a high of 79. In case you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch that shortly up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. Coming up on OTBOT, Nick Underhill joins the show to talk Saints at 9:30. You can follow today's show on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN or by subscribing to our YouTube for new content every day. You can also check us out on Cox Sports Television. OTB OT, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Still a lot of Gulf South in the chat accusing me of running away to New Orleans every weekend to go to Storyland.
Yep.
Just for Saturday, first off.
Factual, though.
Just during the day on Saturday. And yes, I do love bringing the girls to Storyland. Every day, Alice is still asking about riding the Ladybug.
So this summer,
I can't wait for the carousel to open back up this fall.
Pretty hypocritical.
Lake Bob.
Not hypocritical.
Beach Bob.
Yep.
And NOLA Bob.
Yeah.
Never were you Baton Rouge Bob.
I was absolutely Baton Rouge Bob.
No, never.
I spent a lot of time at the Knock Knock Museum, one of the local treasures here.
I don't remember hearing that.
Which you should support. I spent a lot of time at a Streamer Brewery drinking beers. Not that you would know, Jake. You never go when invited.
Oh, yeah.
I spent... Yeah, what? You got like your kids' sports to go to?
Yes.
Okay, well, that's an excuse. Okay? No. Point being, though, give me some suggestions. Where should I take Molinaro and his wife? Right.
I know he's a big fan of donuts, so you should bring in Mary Lee's.
Oh, yeah, you got to do...
Well, I agree with you, Danny. That's not the Friday night play, but I absolutely agree with you.
You have to set up the whole weekend.
I love Mary Lee's, too. I know. And then we're going to have Meg come in on Saturday. You bring him out tailgating. I've already talked to Zrao, our guy from DVA Tailgating that everybody loves so much. We're getting it set up there as kind of a home base through which to operate. Because given the fact that I'm only doing whiskey and wine now on game day, like I can go tailgate again. So that's going to be awesome. So look for some stuff
I hate you.
coming out this Saturday. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where to bring him Friday. You know, I probably don't know where to bring him Friday because I don't want to go anywhere really. Right? Like a bar was mentioned to me, and I was like, but that's gonna be packed.
You did, yeah. I was like, hey, this is a pretty cool spot on Friday. Yeah, there's gonna be people there.
I'm gonna be like doing this thing where I'm like walking through the crowd, having to raise my drink above my head. I'm a big dancing through the crowd guy. You probably know that if you ever see me out at a bar. And that's fun to a point, but like. In my older age, I feel like I'm just like what am I doing? What am I doing there? I'm not grinding on anybody really. I can carve out like a 4-foot orbit sometimes around me where I can just dance and have fun, and that's relatively fun. But I can do that in a place that isn't crowded. It's like when I made Danny go with me to John Williams when we were out in L.A. Ask Danny, one of the reasons why I went to the bar that we went to, I mean, I knew it was going to be bad, but I wanted it to be empty, right? I wanted it to be empty so it could just be me and my young Mexican boy that I was plying with alcohol, just hanging out, having a few drinks before we went to the concert together. I was wondering what some people were thinking in there, because I'm like, Danny, get this. Danny, get that. Hey, he wants another beer. Oh, he wants the blue milk. We're at a Star Wars bar.
We're at a Star Wars. Okay.
Give him the blue milk. He wants the blue milk. How was the blue milk, Danny?
It was pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
And I don't really know. And we also had our guy Cole Kublik, who he does obviously TV side of things for ESPN. They're calling the game, and he was like, hey, because of the storm, like there's nowhere really to stay within 100 miles of Baton Rouge. Have y'all, do y'all have like a condo, someone that has one or something like that? I don't know. I got to reach out to him today, and I was like, hey, the Hester House is always open, so maybe we can just have a big slumber party at the Hester House on Friday. You can have drinks there, T-Bob.
Now, that environment actually sounds much more preferable at my age than going to a bar where it's going to be packed wall to wall.
There you go.
Mark Cumby asking T-Bob, how was Pink's hot dogs? I did go to Pink's. It's like, I get very touristy, but I like places with history. If you tell me a hot dog stand's been in the same location for 90 years, I'm going. It was okay. It was a chili dog. It was probably not like as good as a chili dog. It was a good chili dog. The thing is, though, I mean, I'm not going to lie.
I mean, like Varsity, kind of same deal?
Yeah, it's a chili dog. Like, it wasn't anything. Yeah. But it's cool because, you're sitting there and I'm like, I'm eating a chili dog that, people have been eating here for 100 years. Yeah. That's interesting. But, I mean, dude, this weekend I ate about 5 chili dogs on Sunday. Watching the NFL, I got some Iverstein dogs.
Have we done Central Plumbing yet? Central Plumbing's coming. Okay, 940.
Ooh, damn, dude.
5 chili dogs?
5 chili dogs. And they were so damn good.
That's
putting out a base of cheese and slapping those Iverstein dogs, man. And it's not an ad or anything. Those things are hitting. There's some next level dogs.
Homemade chili? What are we talking here?
No, that's the next piece.
I know
really
your
good
did not
buns,
go Wolf brand chili.
Just cheap can chili. I don't know what kind of chili, but should have done that Skyline chili, which I still have aging in my car.
Canned chili?
Yeah. What do you mean?
That's some Joey Hester stuff there, bro.
Yeah, bro. I mean, it ain't that bad, dude.
Man. I pride myself in making homemade chili.
How long has it been in your car?
The Skyline's got.
The Skyline?
It's cooked itself. It's cooked itself 3 times in this heat.
It gets transported in trucks. It's not transported in a cold truck.
It ain't Louisiana heat for 3 weeks.
Bro, I guarantee if there was a zombie apocalypse and you stumbled upon Skyline chili 2 or 3 years later, you'd probably be fine. You'd probably be completely fine.
Probably.
Probably. No, so about 5 chili dogs on Sunday. Really good. I actually went with a mozzarella instead of a cheddar, which was a bit different. It's a little mozzarella
bougie.
Base. Then, actually, I think is shredded mozz actually cheaper? I think mozzarella is actually cheaper than cheddar. If we were to just do cheese prices, we'd have to look it up. But I feel pretty confident.
I don't know what the cheese market's looking like these days.
Dude, maybe you should keep up with the cheese market a little bit more. A little base of mozz. Throw a hot dog on there, then the chili, then ketchup, then mustard. 5 of them things. NFL Red Zone. 7 hours straight of football. Giving Alice the tablet so that I don't have to talk to her or worry about her at all. Let's go. Alva Marzwani says best way to eat Skyline is by throwing it away. I don't know. I still haven't had it. Maybe I'll make some this weekend. All right. Can we get a cheese price check in the chat,
I think
please?
we need to, yeah.
I want to know what's more expensive, cheddar or Mott's. And look, obviously you'll be able to find this brand's more expensive than this brand, but if you can get some sort of baseline, is there a cheese market? Garrett Oliver says, proving once again T-Bob smells like deli meat and cologne. I would have to wear cologne for that to be the case. Deli meat definitely in play.
What was it about deodorant you said on Friday?
Yeah, I wear it about 50% of the time.
Yeah.
Today's a no day.
Today's a no day.
Yeah, today's a no day.
It's not a dollop of fall today.
No, I just wasn't feeling it though.
Rainy, humid as hell.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you don't use charcoal deodorant. Because you don't use charcoal toothpaste, T-Bob?
Yeah, I love charcoal toothpaste. I do use fancy hippie deodorant.
You have charcoal deodorant?
Work. Yeah, it's something like that. It's gray. I don't know. It's gray and it kind of works. Not really though. And it doesn't really last that well.
It has to be an absolute. It either works or it doesn't work. If you smell yourself, said deodorant does not work.
Yeah,
if you don't smell yourself, then it's doing its job.
Yes. So it does its job for some time.
And I'm okay with you showering at night and not putting deodorant on before you go to bed. I understand that.
Yeah,
you want to be able to breathe a little bit.
You're not going to stuff up your armpits.
Exactly.
Before you go to sleep.
I understand that. But when you wake up tomorrow morning, for everyone in this room, give it a little squirt. And if you don't want to do aerosol, aerosol. Don't do that.
I feel like
That's
I have a great. You want to smell?
Body spray?
Yeah, you can just rub it on.
Double pits to Hesty.
Exactly.
That's the J-Boy nickname for Jake, and I love
Dude,
it.
He called me yesterday, and it's like, double piss, what's up? I'm like, it took me back. I'm like, wait, what? Oh, yeah.
Well, the best part is, it's just very, it's such a niche kind of nickname. You have to remember that, 2006 Axe commercial, and that's the only way you're going to understand what double pits to Hesty means. But is an aerosol, is that deodorant in terms of or is it body spray?
That's deodorant.
Spray on deodorant.
And deodorant.
Okay.
Yeah, there's 2 different things.
But Axe is not deodorant.
One's to cover up the funk and one's to keep you from sweating.
But I'm saying Axe is not deodorant. Axe is a body spray.
I believe so. I don't know if they make a deodorant now, but yes, it was a body spray.
They do have deodorant in the States.
They do? Okay.
Okay, we're getting some cheese prices. Looks like we don't have a final answer just yet. Although Kraft cheddar is roughly twice the price of mozzarella, but Great Value shredded cheddar and Great Value shredded mozz are the same.
Come on, man. If you're going to use cheese like Sargento, at least spend some money on some cheese. Don't go get Great Value cheese.
Well, but we got to do the same company to see if the cheddar and mozz is the same. You get what I'm saying?
I mean, we ain't trying to use Kraft up in here. That ain't cheese, Coach.
Oh, okay. Folks in Europe wear deodorant, but not antiperspirant. Learn something new every day.
Would you rather not sweat or rather have the smell of deodorant?
I don't care about the sweating part. I want the smell to be covered up first and foremost. If I have pit stains but I don't smell, that's fine.
I agree.
That's not a problem.
No problem.
Yeah, that ain't no problem. Hey, can I get some bed music, Mario? I'm about to read y'all some fun college football facts and see how you feel about it. We'll do like 2 and then go to break because we got to go to break. Just yes, Mario.
Should be just right there, like bed music.
Just like hit anybody.
Hit literally anything on the
put
board.
any song on.
Any
single
music.
Song. Just something that's not just silence.
I'm trying. Give me 6 seconds exactly.
Okay.
Oh, 6. Okay.
So these are Chris Vanini's 19 most interesting numbers week 2. We're not going to get all 19. I picked out the best. How about this? Talking about them Pac-12 trenches, Jake. Oregon averaged 7 yards per rush against the Buckeyes. The 6th highest ever average allowed by the Buckeyes. C.J. Verdell alone, 8.1 yards per carry, Jake. How about that? It is the first time since 2014 the Buckeyes allowed 200 yards rushing in consecutive games. And did you realize this? Ryan Day's first ever regular season loss at Ohio State. Ryan Day was 22-0 going into Saturday.
That's an amazing stat, by the way.
But and Oregon put it on them.
We should not be surprised because Minnesota had success running the football against Ohio State as well. Oregon's got better players than Minnesota. Yes, they struggled a little bit with Fresno State. I think Fresno State's a better team than people give them credit for. That's why I'm interested in the UCLA-Fresno game this weekend. But we shouldn't be surprised Ohio State gave up that many yards on the ground. It is surprising that Ryan Day's first ever regular season loss, though.
The Buckeyes, though, are 1-4 in their past 5 home non-conference games against ranked opponents. And they've lost to Oregon, Oklahoma, USC, Texas. They beat Miami. So, if you're a ranked team facing the Buckeyes in the shoe, you got a good chance to. Iowa has forced 9 turnovers its past 5 games against Iowa State with 0 turnovers committed. Of course, they forced 4 on Saturday. They did not commit one themselves. How Iowa is this? The Iowa offense, Jake, they killed them.
They did.
The Iowa offense had 173 yards, 173. It's the 4th time since 2000 they've won a game with fewer than 200 yards. That's Kirk Ferentz football, baby.
That's what they are.
Let's go.
That's what they are. That's why, I was joking with you last week, and we were like, name an Iowa player, and you're like, no. And we started talking about Saved by the Bell because we couldn't name an Iowa player.
The quarterback, Petrus.
Yeah, I mean,
there you go.
I got you there.
Look at me.
Laporte of the tight end / receiver, but to our point, there's no household names there.
You know how you win by only getting 150 yards? Because now for 24 straight games, Iowa's held their opponent to 24 or fewer points. 24 games in a row. That's like 2 or 3 seasons almost worth of football. All right, this will be the last one. Florida quarterback Anthony Richardson averaged 50 yards per pass and 29 yards per rush in a win against UCF. He completed all 3 passes for 152 yards, 2 touchdowns. He ran it 4 times for 115 and a touchdown. He is the only other player besides Tim Tebow to put up 150 passing, 100 rushing since 2000. And now on the year in 11 rushes has 275 and 2 tuds. How is Emery Jones still the guy?
Little injury update. We were recording pre-gaming the SEC last night. Doring said he might have a hamstring issue that could potentially keep him out this week. Obviously going to be limited in practice. And when you're this athletic and explosive, obviously your hamstring means more to you than it would if you or I hurt our hamstring while we were playing.
Yeah, I would say so.
They would just put that fake rubber band.
He should be the starter if he was healthy.
He's been on that train since June.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been on that train for a long time.
Do y'all think this is a similar situation as Kyle Trask and Felipe Franks when the backup is clearly better than the starter, who's kind of one-dimensional?
I guess a little bit. It's a little bit different, I guess, because their skill set. Richardson's definitely, without question, been the more dynamic player. I expected more from Emery Jones because of his experience in some of those big games. That has not shown through. He hasn't been awful, but he has not been the player.
The difference is, too, you had
AR-15's been.
You had no idea Kyle Trask was good. You're kind of seeing that Richardson's good. Like, Kyle Trask didn't play, right? And then Franks gets hurt, and he comes in and leads to the Kentucky win. It's like, oh, whoa, this kid actually is good. All right, those are some of the most important numbers. If we have time, we'll get more of them later. Coming up next, set up Nick Underhill coming up at 9:30. Talk about the New Orleans Saints. Keep it locked right here on OTB.
OTB, OT.
Go to AdvantaClean. AdvantaClean.com for all your fire damage, water damage, mold damage. You want to go to AdvantaClean today. Go ahead and get in there. 369-5228 is number 369-5228. And look, fire damage, water damage, mold damage, they're the place because it's one call to solve it all. Not only will they fix it, but they'll document it and they'll deal with the insurance company for you. I know post-storm, things are crazy. They brought in help. They can help you. Just get in ASAP. Call AdvantaClean, 369-5228.
Yeah, as we know, unfortunately, in South Louisiana, the bad weather is not over. I mean, yesterday alone, some places started to really flood. In Baton Rouge, and we got more bad weather coming, so make sure that you have AdvantaClean on your mind. And if you're a business, remember, get a plan in place. It's a free service to you, so if something does happen and something happens to your business, they know exactly what to do with your space because they know your space. Check them out online for a full list of services. That's AdvantaClean.com, AdvantaClean.com.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Front to Back Boat Service has been family owned and operated for 30 years. And the Sherman family is NMEA certified. That's the National Marine Electronics Association at Front to Back. They are committed to improving the safety and technology of marine electronics through installer training, interface standards. And look, the fall and the winter, it's the perfect time to do that yearly maintenance you've been putting off. Get those parts you've been wanting. So schedule your appointment today at Front to Back, North Airway off of Airline Highway.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Larry Holder joins us to talk some Saints and LSU starting to prep for the Central Michigan Chippewas. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
What up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB OT. Hour number 3, we got Nick Underhill coming up in about 10 minutes. Talk about this New Orleans Saints. He has completed his film review, which is always so good and so long and comes with highlights built in the article on New Orleans Football. You want to go check it out. Jake, maybe before, we could always circle back to some of the more of these college numbers if you wanted to, maybe pick out the most interesting ones. Did you have any thoughts, though, on the kind of, we spent so much time on the Saints yesterday in LSU. We didn't really look at the NFL as a whole. A hell of a week one. Last night's Monday Night Football game was it's kind of funny, right? I mean, for the NFL, you could not have had better end caps, right? The Tampa Cowboy game was absolutely fantastic on Thursday. And then the Monday night game was wild, where both teams looked like they had it won like 17 times. And finally, the Raiders come away with the win. Also kind of a swaggy finish with like the fadeaway off the back foot touchdown throw from Derek Carr there at the end. And eventually, I think it's awesome that in the offseason where Carl Nassib comes out of the closet as an actively gay NFL player, he forces the game-winning fumble.
Yeah, a really good game.
That's
throughout
awesome.
the whole contest.
And look, I know in like an ideal, like where we will get to world, and where maybe even are, because I'm the one bringing it up, so I'm the one creating this, then it's no big deal, and nobody talks about it. But, we are here at the beginning of this sort of stuff, and so for him to be out of the closet and actively kicking ass and making literal game-winning plays, it just shows me if you can ball, that's all that matters.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't even think about it. Like when he was making that play, that, dude. I mean, if that's something you're stuck on, then we're not jiving.
Yeah, no, I just think it's great. Yeah, reinforcement that like just play good football, right? That's all that matters at the end of the day in that locker room.
What about this? What's maybe the one thing that stood out to you the most? And let's take the Saints out of this because we talked about them and we're going to continue when Nick comes on in about 15 minutes. Was there something that stood out to you the most, something that maybe even surprised you a little bit outside like the Chiefs being like Thanos, like I said, they're inevitable. They're going to come back. Doesn't matter what your lead is. We know that. Okay. That's not a surprise.
The NFC West and AFC West going 4-0 was pretty impressive. The NFC West, especially a dominant 4-0, looking just as good as we thought. But how about the 4 2020 quarterbacks who started on Sunday? Some year 2 growth. Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Tua Tagovailoa, and Jalen Hurts all getting wins on Sunday, right? I'm always looking for the next generation of quarterbacks. Certainly Patrick Mahomes is the one in the generation that is now supposed to be entering their prime, but it seems like there's some good young signal callers. I mean, Jalen Hurts looked damn good. And that's how I know my Alabama friends have no perspective. They all hate Jalen Hurts. They think he sucks at football.
Really?
I'm like, that's what I was telling them this weekend. I'm like, this is how I know y'all's minds are so warped and broken that you just have no concept of what it's like to be like a normal football fan. Because you think Jalen Hurts, the guy that maybe lost like one game for y'all in college or whatever it was, and was SEC Offensive Player of the Year and all this stuff. They think they don't think he's not good. Like he's just good. They think he sucks. Like he's actively bad. Like they were hitting me with like, well, forgive me if the guy that I watched hold on to the ball for too long for 3 years in a row. Suddenly, if I don't believe he's suddenly become a good NFL player. The best part, this was at the beginning of the Falcons-Eagles game. And then you saw what Falcons fans. Yeah. And you saw what Jalen Hurts went on to do. Okay. Yeah. So look, I don't know if he's going to be good.
I'd take him over Tua right now.
Yeah. Yeah, easily.
Right now, I'd take him over Tua.
Don't tell them that. I don't know.
I don't have Alabama friends. That's on you. That's check your heart.
They're idiots. They're idiots, obviously. But yeah, so the 4 young quarterbacks, and then obviously, dude, I can't get enough of the whole Joe Burrow game.
That was going to be where I was going, yeah.
The 4th and 1 specifically in OT.
It was
a great call by Zach Taylor.
It was a fantastic call. I mean, because Joe Mixon had a nice day. I mean, he carried the ball 39 times, so you're just 29 times.
Oh, my God.
29 times.
This is 1990?
29 times feels like it, right? And he had success over 4 yards a carry, even with 29 carries, and you're all expecting. And earlier in the game, they ran Joe in a couple of quarterback sneaks, and it was a perfect play call, perfect setup. And the Bengals were really the story for me over the weekend. They were at home, I realized that, but just the way that they've lost openers in the past. Last year, Randy Bullock missing the kick against the Chargers. Minnesota, to me, is a good football team with offensive weapons, and so it tested all the money that Cincinnati spent in free agency on the defensive side of the ball. And they gave up 24, but I still think they had a really good day considering who they were playing against. They hold Dalvin Cook to 3.1 yards per carry, only 61 yards.
Remember, Minnesota, when Dalvin Cook was in last year, Minnesota played like a playoff team. They were horrible when he was out. But, to your point, that was a playoff team when he played.
So, Joe, 20 of 27, very efficient, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, right? Joe Mixon, 127 yards on the ground. Jamar Chase, 101 through the air, 50-yard touchdown that we all saw, right? Had a touchdown catch. T. Higgins had a big day through the air. So, Cincinnati, to me, in a division that's going to be incredibly tough. Pittsburgh beats Buffalo on the road. We saw Baltimore lose last night, but we all assume Baltimore will still be a very tough out. Cleveland did everything but win the game in Kansas City. That's a division that's going to be extremely tough, but the Bengals showed that they made some improvements, not only on the defensive side of the ball, but Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and Joe Mixon thrived in that offense. The one concerning thing, and I know y'all are not surprised, they gave up 5 sacks. So
they did.
The offensive line still had their struggles, and some of it, actually, most of it came from the interior, right? The center got beat twice, I know, for sacks. So that's still something that they've got to get fixed. You want to protect Joe Burrow. When he was limping a little bit in the game, I was freaking out a little bit, trying to hold my breath. Michael Pierce, the nose tackle, had 2 of the 5 sacks. So like I said, they were getting it from the interior. There was one where it was a free linebacker. He came right through the A-gap, miscommunication, MA, where he got sacked. So those are things you hope that can get fixed. I mean, last year was coming from all angles.
So I don't know if y'all have read the whole document or not yet, but do you know which division in the NFL went 0-4 this weekend? Not a guess, right? I would think
South?
NFC East, right? NFC
No, South
League.
Houston won.
Yeah, no, AFC South got a dub.
Yeah, one.
There's only one. Very unexpected.
Oh, NFC North?
NFC North, right? I mean, I guess whatever. The Bears are hot garbage, but Packers end up getting dominated by the Saints. Vikings, obviously the Bengals we just talked about. And who else am I missing here? Why am I blanking?
Lions.
And then the Lions getting really their ass kicked by the Niners just with a crazy comeback, which Otter had Lions +8 in the Degeneration Dome. Not a win, but the most from-the-grave push that I've ever seen in my entire life for Otter to avoid an L there. But, yeah, the NFC North taking over for the NFC East as the most dysfunctional division in all of football following 1 week. We'll see where it goes. Okay, last thing here before we get to Nick, coming up next, talking about his film review, New Orleans Saints. This is kind of in the same vein as Tinglehoff. Have you heard of Jordan Mailata? The tackle for the Eagles?
I actually have, yes.
Crazy story, right?
Getting paid, yes.
Yeah, so this guy, right tackle for the Eagles, just got paid a $16 million a year extension. 7th highest paid tackle in the league now. And you're like, okay, T-Bob, what does that matter? He wasn't even playing football 3 years ago. He had never played. This guy is such a physical freak. He came over from playing rugby, which, Danny, look up my lot of rugby highlights. He's like 6'7" or 6'8". He's just a massive human being. But Mailata wasn't even playing football a couple of years ago. Didn't know the sport at all. And now he's the 7th highest paid tackle in the NFL. How in the world? Making $16 million a year, dude. How are you that athletic that you could just adjust to a game that quickly? I can't even fathom that.
No, I can't either.
I played chess for 9 months. I can't even get out. Freaking 600s. Can't even get into 600s consistently.
There's so many little nuances of playing football that you learn over time through Pee-wee and middle school and high school and college football to get to that point. And for him to pick it up as fast as he did, big feather in the cap for the rugby community.
Look at how big this dude is playing rugby. Oh, my God. If you're watching on 104.5 ESPN. I mean, you can see the body. The body's there to be an elite offensive tackle. But, like, even think about football. Maybe it's because rugby's kind of the same way. It's not intuitive at all. Like, nobody, it's a weird game. So, shout out Jordan Mailata protecting Jalen Hurts there on the edge. All right, when we get back, Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football. Keep it locked here on OTB.
OTB, OT.
Go to All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. Look, the dealerships are nice. I went there twice. Got that Toyota Sienna minivan. You want to join me in the MVG, the minivan gang? That's up to you, man. But maybe it's not a minivan. Maybe it's a Tundra. Maybe it's a Tacoma. Maybe it's a RAV4. Maybe it's a Corolla. Maybe it's a Camry. Whatever it is. If it's new, if it's used, if you want to lease, you want to buy, you want to rent, it's all right there at All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge. And if you love OTB, you love All-Star Toyota. So go see them off Airline today.
Yeah, T's telling the truth when he talks about options. Sequoia for that full-size SUV. If you're looking for a mid-size SUV, 4Runner, Highlander, you get the Highlander Hybrid if that's what you're looking for as well. You know they've got the staples in the Corolla and the Camry. Don't forget about the minivan. As T-Bob pumps all the time. It is well worth it. And that Sienna, Tacoma, Tundra, you name it, they've got it. Whatever your lifestyle calls for, they're going to have your needs met over at All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. It's All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big V and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
It's week 3 in the high school football season, and we get started Friday night at 6 with Louisiana Prep Preview, followed by Catholic High and West Monroe at 7. And we wrap things up with a full 2 hours of the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on YouTube, CST, and 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Crush a bit, little bit, roll it up, take a hit, feeling lit, feeling right, 2 a.m. sun
summer night. I don't care, hand on the wheel, driving drunk, I'm doing my thing. Rolling the mid beside and now, living my life, getting our dreams. I'ma do just what I want, looking ahead, no turning back. People told me slow my roll. I'm screaming out, I'm screaming out, I'm screaming out.
OTB, OT, with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria. Weekly New Orleans Saints updates with Nick Underhill on OTB are brought to you by former LSU Tiger and attorney Chris Perrette.
Oh, Saints win! Who dat? Screw the Packers! Aaron Rodgers, you are a fraud! I take it all back! My YouTube video from 2 years ago still plays! You suck! Saints rule! 38-3!
Flynn's not coming in on Wednesday. Stop that.
Let's go! Nick Underhill, what's up, dude?
Oh, hey.
You all right, man?
Hey,
Yeah,
Nick. Hey.
I'm happy, man.
Nick.
The little Project X got me fired up. Also, watching Mara have an anxiety attack as we waited to see whether or not that song was censored was worth the price of admission here in studio.
So
we're
good.
talking to Nick Underhill at Nick_Underhill on football or on Twitter. New Orleans.football is the site. Nick's got his film review up right now with clips. It is fantastic. It's amazing. Nick, there's a ton of places we could start, but let's just start here. I mean, 38-3. What the hell, dude? That was about a perfect game. What was your kind of number one takeaway with a bullet?
I mean, the whole thing was just unbelievable. I couldn't believe they went out and they executed like that. Man, just picking one takeaway is really difficult. I think, putting Jameis aside, the big thing for me that was really one of the most impressive things is just how quickly they got up to speed on defense this year. And I think that's been an issue almost every single year is the slow starts on defense. Week 3, they played the Packers last year. And, we were talking about how they couldn't just execute basic cover 3 and, their cover 4 was blown. Like, they couldn't just do basic things. Communication wasn't there. And it took them a little while to get there. And once they got there, it got going. I don't know that since I started covering this team in 2014 that I've seen the defense of week 1 gelled, ready to go, and just take off right away. So for them to be starting at that point and, you start getting pieces back and Paulson Adebo, I mean, if he keeps playing like he's playing, I don't really know how you put him on the bench. I mean, for that performance for a rookie at cornerback against this team, I mean, that was extremely impressive. Lattimore didn't even play like that in his debut. It took him a few weeks to get there. And I'm not saying that Adebo's Lattimore, but I just think he's starting at a really high point. Now you got Bradley Roby coming. I think this team could keep getting better, and that's kind of crazy to say because this performance was so good. But even within this dominant performance, there's things that you see that they could get better at. So it wasn't like they played a perfect game. They just kind of outwilled the Packers, and I think this really talented defense started off at a really high point. And man, the game was just, again, it was unbelievable. It's just kind of even hard to put it in the context 2 days later because, I kind of thought they were going to go there. And if you told me that there was a 35-point deficit, I would have guessed that the Saints were on the wrong end of it, especially with the stuff going on with Lattimore coming into the game. I mean, and for them to go out there and just really, they bullied them in all aspects of the game.
They did bully them. Nick, I want to ask you about a tweet that you had, though, upon your film review, and it's in the article as well. But that is the impact of Marcus Williams. Like, it's easy to see on the pick itself. That was an incredible play. The ability to just catch that ball, like the hands displayed, the vision on the return, really strong all around. But what impact, and look, Marshawn Lattimore just got paid. He's playing under the tag right now. Williams is. What impact, how far-reaching was Williams' impact on Sunday?
It was, on a ton of plays, not even just that interception. And that interception is about as good of a play as you'll see a safety make. I mean, he's on the opposite side of the field. He spots the throw, intercepts it 45 yards down the field on the opposite side of the field. Just the read, react, recognition, speed. I mean, it was elite level stuff. And, he really is that type of player. And it's unfortunate that he's kind of spent his whole career kind of being discussed through the prism of one failed play, and that kind of impacts how everybody views him and sees his impact on the team. But, I mean, he does elite stuff consistently. And, there's plays where you'll see him on the TV and he'll be the guy chasing, and it's because he's making plays like on that interception where he's covering the whole field and his range is putting him in position to be places that a lot of people can't get. It's kind of like in baseball, if a shortstop has the range to make a play on the other side of second base in the hole, but he gets his glove on it and bobbles it, it's an error. But like, he probably shouldn't have been there anyhow. And you got to put that error in context. And that's kind of, some of the stuff you see with Williams. If you actually watch like the full field view, these plays on TV where sometimes it looks like he's in a bad spot or not making a play. Like, no, he's where he shouldn't be. And he impacted a ton of plays. I mean, there were at least 2 or 3 outside of the interception where just his coverage, he makes Rodgers look off and go somewhere else with the ball. I mean, he deserves that tag. And honestly, like, I thought he was the guy that they should have tried to pay, maybe first or second out of all these people that were up this offseason. I don't know how they're going to afford him. That's going to be tough. I mean, I think it's something that they should try to figure out. And this team typically finds a way to keep players that they want to keep, and they won't let the cap, force them into a decision. But I think his value to the team is that great, and I think he'll be really hard to replace if he gets out of here.
Nick, one of the things that gave the Saints trouble last year were really good tight ends. I mean, we all remember the Raiders game, and I thought the Packers had a really nice matchup. Robert Tonyan, someone who caught 12 touchdown passes a year ago. I realize he's not the most explosive player, but he's a really good tight end, and Aaron Rodgers, one of his favorite targets. You hold him to 2 catches for 8 yards. As you broke down the film, what were they doing extremely well to shut down a guy like Robert Tonyan?
I think you saw the speed of the linebackers really show up, especially on those bootlegs. They tried to run them a handful of times, and they did get one off. Bond kind of got caught up watching the backfield, got pulled by the handoff, the fake handoff. Then they ran it again, and Bond played it right, and he was out there on the play where Rodgers got sacked. Actually, Bond covered a bootleg into the flat, and he kind of had to eat it, and they got the sack. So I mean, that was a major change. You saw it last year. I mean, that was kind of the key for the Las Vegas. They set it up with Waller, and they ran a lot of those. And then the Packers kind of saw that and just amplified it. And it seemed like they ran 35 of them against the Saints, and they couldn't cover any of them. But I think the speed of the defense overall, I mean, that was one of the other big takeaways is just how quickly they were able to cover the field, just everybody knowing what they were supposed to do so that they're just reacting really quickly. Then you got good athletes, and it just kind of just snowballed and went hand in hand. And it's something that I heard from the coaching staff too, is that the linebackers in particular kind of affected the quarterback evaluation between Taysom and Jameis throughout the offseason, just because they were blowing things up and just kind of being everywhere, and it made things hard to operate. And I think you saw that again in this game. I mean, there just weren't really any easy passes. It was hard to check down. So, I mean, I think those guys are going to be, it's crazy to say about the Saints because they really have never had good linebackers. I mean, it's been a long time since Vilma's been here. But, I mean, I think those linebackers are going to kind of be part of the identity of the defense this year, and that's, a major change for this team. But the depth there is really good. I mean, Pete Werner, he didn't even play a snap on defense, and he's someone that probably could be on the field for a lot of teams right now. So, I think that's something to be excited about for this team after years of really striking out. And, Stephon Anthony, AJ Klein was a decent pickup, but he's not a game changer. I mean, they've been looking for those players for a while, and now they got a bunch of them. And then Quan, just his ability to cover, they didn't hide him or anything. They had him manned up on Devontae Adams coming out of the slot early in the game, and he covered him. His ability to move 230 some days after having the Achilles surgery is unbelievable. I still think there's things that he does in the run game that are, a little iffy. He missed the tackle, but his speed and range in the passing game, I mean, it's a game changer. And if he can stay healthy, I mean, he's gonna make a major impact this year. I think he's probably gonna play better than last year. He knows what he's doing now. So I mean, for that group, I mean, everything just seems to be coming together really well.
New Orleans Football is a site. Trust me, you will not find a better film, watch, game recap article than what's up there right now. Go ahead and sign up, support Nick directly. Nick, okay, Jameis Winston. I mean, what did the film show?
Oh, man. I don't want to get too high on Jameis off of one game. I mean, it's something that he has to keep doing every single week. That was probably the best sub 150-yard passing performance in NFL history. Honestly, I don't know, 150 yards, 5 touchdowns. He did basically everything right. I mean, even the play on the interception that kind of it got called back for roughing the passer. I mean, that's a throw that you make. You got the cornerback with his head, turned around. He's, usually you get a DPI on that play. I was surprised it was roughing the passer and not DPI. I mean, he could have aimed it a little higher. It hit the cornerback in the, in the shoulder. You probably want that ball at the back of the head, so aim it a little higher. But overall, like, I thought everything he did was really good. I mean, he got the ball out quickly. He threw it away when he needed to throw it away, got through his progressions. I mean, in the play where he threw it away, Peyton talked about this yesterday, and I mean, you go back and watch it. I mean, he wanted to go down the field with it, took a beat, saw the safety, saw Taysom wasn't quite in position where he needed to be. 7 seconds, throws it away. I mean, those are plays that I don't think that you saw Jameis make in Tampa Bay before. And the other, the other thing with him too is I think his scrambling ability was something that was really a game changer early on, and they didn't really know how to react to it. And it's kind of crazy because those decisions he was making are the ones that we waited all last year when Taysom was starting to make. Like, Jameis was doing the things that you wanted Taysom to do. Nothing's there. Okay, tuck and run and go. My only beef with him on those is that he wasn't sliding and he was taking hits. And it's like, you're probably the first or second most important person on the team now. Like, don't turn your back and take a hit in the back trying to fight for the first down. Just protect yourself a little better. But, outside of a couple ball placement things, the second touchdown to Juwan Johnson was obviously like way high, and Johnson kind of bailed him out on that by making an incredible catch when nobody was there in coverage. But if he can do that and kind of be a game manager and then make plays when he needs to make plays, and if he can be that player for them with this defense, I mean that's a combination that works. And I think we see that Jameis can go out there and make big throws and maybe lead them in some situations where he needs to. But if he's in a system that just kind of lets him play safe, and they set up a lot of levels concepts, and it was allowing him to make quick reads, get the ball out, not have to do too much, and it simplified things. And, I think that's the system that he's needed to play in. And the other thing that really stood out about him too was his pocket presence. I mean, he made a lot of throws with guys in his face. Like, he got pressured on 7 of 23 dropbacks, which is actually probably too many. And I think the offensive line could have been a little bit better in this game, despite dominating. Like, there were some things that got through, but his ability to move in the pocket, just to buy himself a little bit more time, those things really stood out. Overall, I mean, I don't think you could have pictured a better start for him. And I mean, it's a continuation of what we saw in the preseason. So there's a little bit of validation there. I think we'll find out a little bit more about him when he's in adverse situations, when he's feeling the pressure of bringing the team back. Like, does he still keep making these good decisions? That's what we don't quite know yet. But when things are clean for him, I mean, he's doing exactly what he needs to do. He's, he talked about being decision-based, not result-based, and you see that all showing up over and over. Yeah. So if he can keep doing that, I mean, man, it's encouraging to see where he's at right now.
Look, yeah, I agree, right? Like, I don't know where it's going to go from here, but it could not have been better than what it was in week one. Passed that first test perfectly. Nick Underhill, at Nick_Underhill, New Orleans football site. Again, sign up for the best Saints coverage. Every Tuesday we break it down with Nick. Nick, thanks so much, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, take it easy. Look at Stephen A. Saints, number 2 on Stephen A's top 5. We got to go to break. We'll be back to close the show next.
OTB, OT.
CentralPlumbing.org, CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552, 925-8552. 5 chili dogs, no problem.
Oh,
thanks, Central
5
Plumbing.
chili dogs.
No
My
problem.
gosh.
See, I can do that with peace of mind. So now I got Central Plumbing. If anything goes wrong, call up Central Plumbing. I don't lift a finger. My problems are solved. I know that they got great flat rate pricing, so I know exactly what I'm getting into. Know everybody's licensed, bond, insured, so I can trust who's coming in my home. Great warranty work after the work is done. A month on service work, a year on new installation. So, yeah, peace of mind before, during, and after. Eat whatever you want. Central Plumbing's right there.
No problem. Look, last night I was reminded yet again, so 3 of our 4 boys had practice, so we get home a little bit later. It was raining, so we had to wash the clothes that we had out at football practice. So we had the washer going. We had the dishwasher as well going, and we had all the showers going, but it's no problem because of the tankless water heater that Central Plumbing put in the house, right? You should go check that out as well. Call them today, 225-925-8552.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. Need repair? Our service department is ready and available to help you today. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person, connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Join us for a Tuesday edition of Hunt and Hill. We'll give you our SEC power rankings, check in on Saints practice, and it's Shark Week for the Tigers. We'll talk about LSU and Central Michigan. Hunt and Hill, noon to 2 weekdays on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Ow, 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 ow. What up, y'all? Time for Ask the Bench, brought to you by Cold Curse Light, Vizzy Hard Seltzer, and Blue Moonlight Sky Citrus Sweet.
Sky?
Citrus Sweet. Ask the Bench. If T-Bob is Great Value Golic Jr., what brand is Jake? Jake is Great Value Mike Allstott.
I will take that, and I will run with it. Thank you.
Yeah.
I will take that.
Hashtag Ask the Bench. T-Bob, Jake, did you know Jason Sudeikis just signed a contract? I did see this. To make $1 million per episode for season 3 of Ted Lasso.
Let's go.
Up from $300K per episode. Shout out to Sudeikis.
God, if we could all just be like Ted Lasso in life.
Hashtag Ask the Bench. Raging Cages -20 or Ohio +20. I have not watched UL play, so I can't really answer.
I mean, I watched
this.
the Texas game, but I would be lying if I watched the Fighting Jimmy Burrows. Have not watched them yet.
Hashtag ask the bench. Do y'all think that number 21 can be the answer at running back, being that Emery's out for the season?
I think 21 and 22 will continue to shine. We saw it too many times in camp. They're a different speed. They can run different styles of run. Can 22 get on the field?
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think we saw a lot from Corey Kiner as well. He's got a different gear to him.
Yeah, shining behind this line is hard to it's hard to see.
It's going to be self-creation on a lot of these plays.
It's hard to see where he sits today, but I'm hopeful. That's why you play the game. All right, I'm out. I get to record a new Scone T podcast, record LSU football podcast. Great job. Look for both those later today. What about you, Jake?
We've got Hay Fighting podcast with Cody Worsham in this room, so get out.
All right, y'all have a great day. Bye-bye. Love you. See you tomorrow.
OTB, OT.
RejuveMeMedical.com, RejuveMeMedical.com. Restore me. Refuel me. Rejuve me. Your anti-aging experts. They got locations in Denham Springs, Baton Rouge, Metairie. So, if you are, I don't care if you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, or 50s, if you just don't feel like how you used to feel, go get it back with Rejuve Me. You're going to be the lifestyle coach. They'll draw your labs, and they'll use all of that information to create a comprehensive plan specified to you and your body's needs, and you'll feel great again. Trust me. Rejuve Me Medical.
Yeah, we played a little Kid Cudi earlier, and I was like, man, that kind of made me feel old, but I don't want to feel old, so I'm going to go see Rejuve Me, and I'm going to figure out why I'm feeling old, right? So many different things that they can do to help me not feel old, because everyone ages differently. We know that. We tell you that every single day. You can find that information on the website, RejuveMeMedical.com. You can have that consultation in the top right corner of the website. Also, if you've got a question, concern, whatever it might be, talk it through with them. 225-230-4201.